All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Market Prep. I hope you guys are having an amazing morning. Hope you guys had an incredible day yesterday. Good morning, Peter. How are you doing today?
Good morning, Carlos. I think you over-adjusted the sound there. We're good. Anyways, good, great. I'm feeling on top of the world today. I'm hoping that we're gonna have a great day of trading today because there is like half the market seems to have reported earnings. We got so many things to look at this morning. I don't even know where to go, which can sometimes be a problem because, too many things to focus on. It's like chasing butterflies in the field. You'll never catch any because you're always chasing a new one. But anyways, we got to pick our butterflies today. We'll see what we get.
Yep, absolutely, my friends. All right, let's take a look here. Let's take a look at the gappers list brought to you by TradingTerminal.com. Let's take a look here. We got a couple of things in the green after a massive day of earnings that we had yesterday. I mean, just incredible. We were live yesterday at 3:30. Peter, Jared, Brian, and Mike. And again, just an amazing trading day. And we're going to have a lot of fun today. Today should be a very exciting day. So we'll get into all of that. But before we do so, Peter, take us through what's happening today.
Whoa, okay. The sound is going weird. I don't know if it's just me, Carlos, but it seems like it's up and it's down. And anyways, all right, we'll figure this out. So we had some job numbers that came out this morning. So let's talk about jobless claims, both initial and continuing jobless claims. I both came in slightly positive, so which means a little bit lower than anticipated. 222,000 was the forecast for initial, 218,000 was the actual number. Continuing jobless claims 1.96 million, came in at 1.94 million. So good news. The other one that I was watching, of course, is the PCE price index. It was both for the core and the non-core were estimated to be at 0.3, and both came in at 0.3. So right on target. Now, yesterday, if you remember, the big number, what everybody's looking for in the economic calendar yesterday was what the Fed was going to do with the rates. And unsurprisingly, the Fed decided to maintain the current rate. What was surprising was that the Fed publicly sort of told us about the voting and informed us that two of the voters had voted for a rate decrease, but they were overruled because they were in the minority, and as such, the Fed rate remained unchanged. So, look, obviously, there's a lot of discussion as to is the Fed right? Should they be holding the rate? They've been holding that rate fairly high for a long time, and they decided because of the continuing uncertainty, they're going to maintain the rate. And the market would want to see a lower rate. Obviously, President Trump has wanted to see a lower rate. He's made that very clear. But here we are. So we'll see. The market, however, doesn't really, the market's not suffering that much. We are at all-time highs, not only in the overall market, but on a number of different offerings. And looking at those earnings last night, we did a live earnings show. I mean, look, there's some companies that are just blowing the doors off things and are just loving life. So we're going to talk about a few more of these companies today. By the way, we got another live earnings happening tonight. So if you're interested in joining us, you can rejoin here on YouTube at 3:30. We'll be doing live earnings on a couple more that are coming out after the close. So come back and join us then. But for now, let's look at all the earnings that happened overnight and, of course, the ones that are happening this morning. And I got lots of them.
All right, awesome, Peter. Thank you so much. All right, I think I might have fixed the sound. I don't know. Trying something new, but it's just not working. All right, friends, let's see here. Gappers list. We'll start there. Start with the first one today. PBM. So PBM on deck this morning. We are up of 60%, 9.1 million shares traded. So again, definitely in play. The float on this one is under 700,000, maybe under a million. So pretty low float. Peter, what's the latest and greatest on it?
This company's name is Science. but they're messing with my head because it's spelled Psyence, science, like psychology, but science. They they have announced this morning that they have a strategic collaboration with a company called Psi Labs, which is yielding a breakthrough in high purity ibogaine production. I don't know what ibogaine is, but it sounds psychotic. All right, dad joke. I don't know. Carlos, I'm not sure if this is in play or not. I'm not going to be touching it. Too many other things that I can spell properly to trade.
Yeah, we'll leave this one alone. I don't like it either. Let's go down to the next one, guys. APLD, and actually we might switch things up a little bit here because we want to cover the good stuff. We don't want to cover this nonsense. We want to cover the elephant in the room, the Meta, the Amazons today, this afternoon, Nvidia, AMD. Let's go to the big guys. So we'll do this one more, but I really don't want to be looking at all these garbage stuff. I want to get straight to the point here. The APLD up 23%, 5.6 million shares traded. We've seen it on our list plenty of times in the past. I don't like it. I'm not gonna be watching it today, guys. Today is a tech playlist today, right? That's what's on the deck. That's the blockbuster stuff that's happening. I don't think there's room for this, Peter. I want to go to you first. Let's go to you next. Let's go to this list. What do you want to?
Well, you're
talk
right.
about
Like,
here?
look, there's a bunch here that are on the list that pretty much they're all earnings. APLD was earnings overnight. They missed on revenue, beat earnings. But you're right. You know, like on a normal day, yeah, we might want to look at it. It's not a normal day, right? Like some of the stuff on the list are the big ones. So let's jump right to the ones. Look, I can go down this list, Carlos. Let me do some of them real quick. Roblox had earnings this morning, missed revenue, but beat on earnings. Carlos, your kids aren't spending enough in Roblox.
No.
Um, NCLH, normally one we would look at as well. Same story, actually. They missed on revenue, but beat on earnings. A little bit of a departure from what we've seen on other sort of travel stocks. But again, normal day, we might take a deeper look at it. Not interested today. CoreWeave, I'll just skip right over CoreWeave. Let's go to the big ones here on the list. Meta and Microsoft. We got to talk about those. Let's start with Meta. Meta, blockbuster quarter. Look, 2 years ago, I thought Blockbuster, 3 or 4 years ago, frankly, Carlos, I thought Blockbuster was Blockbuster. I thought Meta was dead. I just thought that I thought they were like, down and out. But they've made this amazing resurgence. The stock price is last night at earnings, it was amazing to watch this thing go. Jump from like $700 to 750 to 770. And it looks like their investment in AI is paying off. In speech from Zuckerberg, he said the super intelligence movement needs to be taken seriously, and it's creating an entirely new breed of company and a new set of opportunities. Now, that being said, not all is glorious in Meta World. They've got a bunch of antitrust suits. For example, there's one in Italy where the Italian government is taking them on, saying that they were using AI inappropriately in their WhatsApp tool and not informing customers that they were using AI, and that created a false expectations of whether they were talking to real humans or not. So, this stuff is like, no, look. AI is all over the place. We actually have no idea how and where it's being used. And, I was just watching a video this morning, Carlos, about the sort of deep fakes, as we know the term. But now they are so good, like you can't tell a real video from a fake video. I might not be a real human. You don't know. I could be a robot right here talking to you, just AI generated. But I'm not. Well, I'm real me. But anyways. But how do you know? I could be lying to you. Anyways, so Meta had a great quarter. We could spend the whole time debating this AI stuff. But anyways, actually, I'm not sure you've seen the latest avatars, Cerise. Then you can't tell because they are very like you can't tell. Anyways, all right. So Microsoft also had earnings. They beat on their numbers as well. Microsoft, some amazing numbers, right? When you start to realize how big these companies are, Microsoft said that they are needing to spend $30 billion in the next quarter. So the next 3 months, they're planning to spend $30 billion in CapEx. That just means buying stuff. capital expenditures. And they said, look, it sounds like a big number. Don't panic, everybody. We've got $386 billion in business backlog, specifically in cloud services and AI service delivery that we can't meet because we don't have enough infrastructure implemented. So we'll spend the 30 billion because we've got 10 times that in business lined up to go pay for it. So it's I mean, and look, if they're spending $30 billion in the next quarter, that's good for a bunch of other companies, right? They're going to be supplying that equipment to them. So yeah, Microsoft says there's, the market is strong and they're looking to spend. So those were two of the big three earnings that we had last night. The third one that we were watching after the close yesterday was Robinhood. And Robinhood's it's an interesting story. A great quarter for them. Once again, AI strategies paying off. In this case, though, it's probably more about cyber. Hood, they were investing in sort of their ability to deliver services across multiple investment platforms, right? Traditionally, they were just sort of an equity exchange, but they've got into options, they've got into crypto, and some potential good news because the rumor is that Paramount may be kicked out of the S&P 500, and either Robinhood or AppLovin, whose ticker is APP that we're not really talking about today, but either them or AppLovin may be the ones to replace them. So if Robinhood gets into the S&P 500, that's always good news for them because it means they get added to a bunch of mutual funds and indexes and stuff. So, and it becomes a crappy trader. That's true. It wouldn't be good for us as a day traders being part of the S&P 500 because the institutional investment ramps up. It tends to stabilize, which makes it a little more boring. The company likes that. We don't as traders. But anyways, so those are the big three, Carlos. I got tons more to talk about, but I'm not sure where we want to go on this day where there's so many. There's so many things.
Yeah. Yeah, there is so many. I mean, I'm going to have these three on my list, obviously. So we'll put in here Meta, of course. Microsoft is going to be on deck. I'm just updating my banner at the bottom. We'll take off these down here. And yeah, I'm definitely going to be watching them. And even the ones are going to be doing earnings today. I mean, I thought I saw Amazon on here. I mean, look at this list. Everything is just green, man. I'm sorry, Powell, you're wrong. You got to cut the rates. You're wrong. This president's just doing what he has to do. He's telling you cut the damn rates. Cut the rates, man. What are you doing?
But look, if the market is going up this aggressively with the rates where they are, wouldn't that support his thesis that if he did reduce the rates, it could create some hyperinflation because things would just continue to cause problems, right?
Cut the rates.
So,
cut the rates, Peter.
Anyways,
25%, whatever. Cut the rate. 15%, 10%. Cut the rates, and let's get going, man. Look at this market.
Yeah, well, anyways, look, the whole world is playing junior economist these days, and we probably shouldn't join the masses in doing so. Look, we have no control.
I agree. No control, and I'm not a financial guy. He's wrong. Cut the rates. You're wrong.
I love that, Carlos.
I know zero about finance,
but he's still wrong,
but you're damn wrong on this one. I'm sorry. I know you're fighting with Trump and you want to hold your ground. I get it. Ego. I understand, man. I'm all for you, and you want to. I get it. Cut the damn rates, man. You're wrong. You're late. Just get it done. But it is what it is. I'm not in charge, but I think he's wrong. Of course, we have no knowledge of what's right or wrong, but I feel he's very wrong. All right, let's take a look, friends. There's so much to watch here. Everything in the green. Let's take a look. I mean, pick your favorites. Let's talk quantum, Peter. I see a lot of quantum stocks in here. I see QBTS, QUBT. I see Rigetti. I mean, everything is green. So let's look at the quantum stuff. Anything you like there this morning?
Look, I mean, I haven't seen a lot of news in quantum. I really feel with some of these big tech companies, really, their profits going sky high as a result of their investment in AI. That just supports the need for increased compute power, which of course pushes the case for quantum, which brings massive compute capability low level of reliability, and that's what they're working on, right? Trying to get it more reliable in terms of the consistency of results. Look, QUBT is one of the ones that I watch. That and QBTS, those are the two that I always go to on the quantum front. I just like the way they trade better than Rigetti or QNTM or some of the others. So QBTS is probably the number one that I go to, just because it gets the most volume. But I don't like in a day like today. I'm not watching this sector. In all honesty, I'm just not going to watch it at all. Not when you got the big gorillas tromping through the force, beating their chests. Like after watching the earnings results, especially. I mean, Carlos, I traded after hours. Like,
Yes,
I
you
mean,
did.
and I traded Microsoft. Like, it's not, I surprised myself in taking that trade. So,
Yeah.
um, it's I think, we got lots to watch here just in terms of the big dogs. And I haven't even mentioned half of them yet.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I mean, it's this AI thing is real, man. And some people are saying I was hearing a podcast yesterday on tech and AI that this is just not even the tip of the iceberg when it comes
oh
to
yeah.
AI. So it's like, how much more can you do here? He's like, this is just the beginning. He's like, he was saying like we're so early on that we haven't seen nowhere near the power that these companies are going to
No.
provide going forward as
They
far as workforce and everything. So it's kind of scary when but the way he was expressing is like, this is nothing. You know
Yeah.
nothing, Jon
Well,
Snow. You know?
and the estimate is, again, I was watching a video this morning where they said the estimate is that within 18 months, so by the end of 2026, the forecast is that over 90% of all online content is going to be AI generated. So content creators, that it may have been a flash in the pan. If you're a content creator and you're one of the popular ones, you can make a good living right now, but that may die very quickly, right? We already know, stories of the deep fakes, and then of course, as usual, right? What happens when new technology sort of, hits the forefront? Where's the first place it goes? Porn. Always porn. So,
It is.
um,
I didn't know that.
oh
I
yeah.
learned something
Oh,
today.
every advance in technology in the last few years, porn has usually been the biggest user up
Well,
front,
the
right?
internet for sure, right? Like internet was huge.
Internet, compute technology, graphics, all that stuff. Porn was the first adopter. So once again, AI and the deep fakes. There's stories where now the AI, the engines are getting good enough where they can take your social media profile and make you naked, and make you do whatever they want. So, it's and so they're saying that, so of
Yeah.
course right now there's a lot of these, videos going around where you take any celebrities were the first targets because there's so much material that the AI could use their face and profiles, of course, to create images. But they say now you don't even need all that much material. It's getting good enough that they could literally just take a couple of your still shots on LinkedIn, and suddenly Carlos, you and I could be starring in porn out there somewhere.
Man, this is
Maybe. I
this
pity the fool watching it, but that's
yeah,
it
you know,
it could happen. So
it kind of
yeah,
messed with
that's
one of
right.
my
They're gonna take
plans
my
here. That's for
my
sure.
beanbag photo, and that's it. And I'm not it like I'm not getting any proceeds. Darn it. Anyways, all
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So yeah, it's we're at the, and don't forget, Microsoft declared this year the year of quantum emergence. So you were talking about quantum. They talked about this as the year of quantum. So I mean, whether that proves to, or not, I mean, it could be partly why you were seeing some of the quantum move. But I just like this is exciting earnings. Actually, I'm a little more excited than I thought I would be. You might be able to tell, just because I'm surprised to see the positive results and how people responded in pushing these companies higher. Now, that being said, the big gap up here on Meta and Microsoft. Let's talk the stock for a second. Meta sitting at $772 today. It closed at 695, right? Like that's huge, right? This thing is up $77 from its close. Can it sustain that? When the opening bell rings, will it stay here, go higher, or drop? I honestly don't know at this point, but I think it's going to move. I think the staying here is probably not the option it's going to follow. It just feels like it's got too much momentum. Even Microsoft, right? Microsoft closed at $513. It's at 558. This is up 45 bucks from where it closed. Like that, that's almost 10% on Microsoft, right? It's
I
eight
know, it's
eight point
wild.
nine percent right now. Like that is massive. It's just a massive move. So and you consider how much money sits behind that, right? This move in Microsoft puts them at a 3.8 billion, sorry, 3.8 trillion dollar company. So that means Microsoft in this move gained something like $400 billion worth of value overnight, right? So it's big moves. I'm going to be watching both of these for sure when the market opens. Okay, Carlos. Again, our list is there. We got to talk about. Let me talk about a couple of the other things that are gapping up on earnings, just for because there might be others that people want to watch. Carvana. We talked about this last night. CVNA. They had earnings. Carvana's been through some interesting times, right? If you remember, they really did well in the pandemics when used car prices were skyrocketing and used cars were super hard to find. And then after the pandemic, right, they were really hard done by because they were carrying this glut of inventory that they'd paid premium prices for, and there was a concern that they were on the edge of bankruptcy, holding massive inventories. But they've come through that, and frankly, they're selling out. Inventories are low again, and they're selling something like $1.6 billion worth of vehicles. So I like just amazing numbers here every quarter, and beat their numbers. And look at them; they're also gapping up significantly this morning. So a good earnings for Carvana. We already talked about APLD. This morning, sorry, no, last night, still on earnings. eBay, not a big one that we watch anymore, but remember when eBay was like the darling of the internet when we used to call it the internet? Anyways,
Yeah.
eBay. But they beat their numbers. Apparently, people are still buying used car parts and old computer parts, and I don't know. Anyways, whatever you buy on eBay, they're still doing
I
good. They had,
I guess so, man. I'm surprised this company's still alive. Like, but yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's not Groupon yet. Anyways, all right. eBay's doing okay. Western Digital, WDC. They had earnings once again, beat their numbers. I mean, this is a common story for almost everything that hurt earnings last night. So they're gapping up by about $5. So good gap up in Western Digital. Not a great trader. I have tried to watch this. It doesn't usually trade all that well, but you should know. And MGM, changing industries here. MGM, which has been a little beleaguered lately, right? Beat on. They had some false starts on their social media and their streaming platforms, but they had a decent quarter, beat their numbers in quarter. It's not. It's gapping down now. All right. Well, early this morning when I looked at it, it was not down like it is, but on very very low volume. So that's anyways, that's where that is. From this morning, earnings this morning. All of the earnings this morning are gapping higher. I'll start with CVS. CVS pharmacies beat their numbers and are gapping higher. On a normal day, I would absolutely put this on my list. I actually like watching CVS. It's you've got to remember though, this one's a NYSE stock. It trades on the New York Stock Exchange. You've got to wait for that volume to come in. You can often trade good, but I said a normal day, which this is not because we just have too many other things, which means this one, I don't have time to wait. And I'm going to watch some of the other stuff, I think, and I only have so much attention to go around. So CVS falls off the list. Roblox, I think I mentioned already. They missed on revenue but beat on earnings. MasterCard, we had Visa that reported the other day. MasterCard reported this morning. As expected, they had a good quarter and beat the numbers. MA is the ticker for MasterCard for anybody that's looking that one up. Again, not a lot of volume. They don't typically trade a lot of volume pre-market and aren't a great trader anyways. If you look at them yesterday, it was pretty horrific. But anyways, and NCLH, can't remember if I mentioned this one already, but Norwegian Cruise Lines had earnings. They missed on revenue, beat on earnings. They were on our gappers list as well. So there you go. So that rounds out the big ones. That being said, everybody, I am still just touching the surface. Again, go to tradingterminal.com and you can find the full list of things that are that had earnings and that are gapping. I mean, as I go down the list, there's all sorts of things. There's AbbVie, and there's Cameco, CCJ, if you remember, that we watch sometimes. Shake Shack, apparently the Shake Shack business is good. Burgers and shakes are still selling. They had a great quarter. Comcast reported, and Ferrari. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. So that's the
Yep.
gap up. There on the gap down. Do we want to jump right there, or what do we want to do here?
Yeah, gap down. Let's take a look here. There's actually a lot less. I mean, if you're gapping down, you're doing something completely wrong today. A lot of these don't trade very well. We could look at the top three, and then we can hop around a little, Peter, to some of the ones that you like. Let's take a look at ALGN. GN this morning, we are down 30%, 482,000 shares traded. Again, a ticker like this, I don't know how I can have this on my list when, if you look at the bottom here, the names I have are just going to be so explosive. But if you like this one today, it is in play. Peter, actually a big drop for them this morning. Something they're doing wrong here?
Yeah, earnings. They had earnings last night, missed their numbers and cut their guidance. So it's always that second part that takes you down. They're down 30% or so. Yeah, it's not a good day. If you like the short trades, which I do, this one doesn't look bad, but again, I just feel today's maybe not the day for the short trades. Yeah, I won't be watching it despite that.
Yep. All right, we'll move on to the next one. It's going to be CFLT. CFLT, another one down 27%. So big drop for them, 1.6 million shares traded. The float on this bad boy is 321. Confluent. So, Peter, what's the latest and greatest? Again, down quite a bit this morning.
Yeah, so this is Confluent, as you said, or however you say this thing. I was surprised to see the float as high as it is. Not one that I'm familiar with. Again, it's just another earnings. I mean, just another earnings. It's just another earnings. Anyways, they actually had a good quarter. They beat their numbers. However, they said that their sales numbers are down, and they're a little concerned about their forward-looking guidance. They didn't actually call off their guidance. They just raised concerns in the conference call that they may, in the future, call off their guidance. So that was enough to bring them down. I think when everyone else was like going, yay, the world is good, for them to say maybe not so good. And this is a software company. I think people might have overreacted. So this feels like they're being punished a little too much, but I'm not going to stick around to find out how this story turns out.
Yep, gotcha. All right, friends, I did a couple of changes to the volume here, so hopefully that sounds much better. Okay, I see you guys saying it's much better and more balanced out. Hopefully the fan on the CPU doesn't blow up here. All right, let's take a look, friends. Yeah, because I tried something yesterday that was recommended to me, and it threw off. That's why you was hearing that up and down like that, like
Okay.
crazy. And then I'm just like,
It was one of the. I see.
I sound like I just deleted the damn thing, and now I lost the other setting I had. So I'm like,
Right.
I just turned off the AC. So I turned off
You
the
put one of
AC.
those filters on, eh?
Yeah, I turned off the AC.
Yeah.
78 here now. I would love
Yeah.
to see how this is gonna be a little bit later. We'll check in. 78 in the room, and the fan in the computer is just cranking up, baby. So let's see.
Well, that's
See how it
how we'll
goes.
know you're not AI, when we see the sweat break out on your forehead.
Oh yeah. All right. Let's take a look. Next on our gap down list, friends, Bud. Here's Bud, BUD. There's nothing like
Yeah.
bad audio, man. I'm telling you. You can have bad video, doesn't matter. People don't care. You have bad audio, you're in trouble. Audio is king. Don't mess with my ears, better sound good. Come in crystal clear, or else we're gonna have a problem. So I'm gonna take this heat for you guys today, literally. All right, let's take BUD, Peter. What's going on here? Horrible stock to day
I,
trade, but obviously in
I
play
feel
today.
like it's despite all the excitement, this is maybe in Silicon Valley. Apparently in the deep south, things aren't going so well, because both Bud and Ford are down this morning. So not enough pickup trucks and beer going on out there. But Bud is down after earnings. They actually had a decent quarter. They made more money than anticipated, but it's their forecast. They're basically they had a volume. So one of the things that you measure here is their shipped, volumes, anyways. And despite the fact that they beat their earnings number, their volumes have declined, and this is got people very concerned. So that's why it's dropping right now, especially. especially their international volumes here. This is on Bud. So yeah, it's again not one that I'm going to trade. I mentioned Ford just because it had earnings. It was one of the ones I was watching. They actually had a good quarter, beat their numbers. However, they stated concerns over tariffs and they cut their guidance. So yeah, so Ford is down. So there's those two for you.
Yeah, yeah. All right. What else here? REPL on the list looks terrible, really. Down 9%, 1.6 million shares traded. Oh, we saw this yesterday.
Yeah,
Replimune.
immune.
Replimune. Yeah, I don't like it today either, Peter. What's your thoughts?
I agree. There's frankly there's no reason to really watch this with everything else going on, in my opinion.
Yeah, I know, man. Yeah, yeah. All right, let's take a look at. Oh, here's a good one. ARM doesn't really trade that well, but let's take a look at it. Yeah. So ARM. It's funny. How's ARM down? And they're partnering up with Nvidia, all these other things, and what took place here?
Disappointing outlook. So they provided a Q2 outlook that frankly was well off what analysts were looking for. And they also had earnings as well. I mean, again, earnings are always secondary to your guidance, your forward-looking guidance. So their revenue actually grew. Their results were pretty much on target with forecasts, but again, guidance was lower than anticipated, and that's what's hurting them. So
All right, there you go. Not good. The one I was thinking about that should be a good one is QCOM. QCOM,
Qualcomm,
normally does
yes.
not. Yeah, Qualcomm. Yeah, does not trade very well, but today can actually look pretty decent, right, with earnings. So they're down 4%. Was down even lower in the pre-market, bouncing back a little bit now. 591,000 shares traded. Obviously, earnings last night, and they are not doing so hot this morning.
Yeah. So, the Qualcomm had sort of almost like a laundry list of things they were worried about. So, and there is, Qualcomm lost a contract with Apple, um, which was their biggest customer for, well, they said modems. That sounds like an outdated. Does anybody use a modem anymore? Anyways, but apparently they bought things from Qualcomm, and they're not any longer. So that's a concern. Qualcomm management also stated that they're going to be impacted by tariffs, and they have yet to factor that into their numbers, and they're not sure what that's going to mean. But they did say that on the good news side, they said that they're seeing a rebound in their handset business. So the number of handsets, both mobile phones, and don't forget, Qualcomm makes some sort of traditional walkie-talkie type things. Is there a more form? There must be a formal term than that, rather than just the generic handsets. But whatever they call them, anyways. They make those. Two-way radio, yeah, that's probably the better formal terminology. Anyways, they still have a good business in that. And yeah, so again, it was sort of interesting the management call. They were sort of listing a whole bunch of things, some good, some bad. Overall, the market either just decided it was too confusing and they're taking the stock down this morning, or they didn't like the overall story. But yeah, this thing is gapping down 4% on again, on a normal day, if there wasn't a lot to watch, I might put Qualcomm on my list because this is the type of day where it could move. But I think it's going to be pushed out by a bunch of other stuff.
Yep. All right, let's take a look at what else is on here that we might like this morning. I think that's about it. Peter, anything that you like as far as earnings go?
Kentucky. Let's see. What else have I not covered that we've already mentioned? ARM, Qualcomm, already there. Talked about Ford, I mentioned. That's it. MGM. Yeah, no, I hit them all, Carlos. Again, I hit all the ones that are worth talking about. The laundry list is so long of earnings that, I don't,
Yeah,
how about
yeah.
WeRide? WeRide reported. This one was here's a random one. WRD, not one that we normally ever watch because it doesn't get all that much volume and doesn't trade well. However, it's sort of been in the news. Remember WeRide with their autonomous and drive services. Anyways, they actually missed on revenue, but there's not enough analysts, I feel, covering this, and the numbers are all over the place. This is one that I was trying to figure out exactly what their numbers were. And in some reports, they said that estimated earnings were forecast to be 116 million, and they only achieved 17 million, which seems like way off. And then this other article I was reading said that their revenue grew by 836%. So I'm a little confused as to what is actually going on. I think we've got a confusion between currencies, which is really what's happening here. So I think the company actually made around 17 million in revenue in US dollars, and then some others have mistakenly taken the original estimate number in whatever their reporting currency is and translated that. What's RMB? RMB is the reporting currency. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I have no
Is this a
idea.
Chinese company? I always thought it was a Chinese company. What is anybody? Can anybody help me? What's RMB in currency? Anyways,
RMB.
yeah, is that the
Well,
Chinese? Okay, so that is the Chinese yuan. I thought it was a yuan. Oh, renminbi. I don't even know how to say that. All right,
is
so
that the same thing as the
it's a different
Chinese
Chinese
yuan,
currency.
or
I
it's a
see.
different
Okay.
dialect of coin? I don't know. So many things still
It's
going on over there in China.
renminbi. Anyways, it means the people's money. Okay. Anyways, all right. So it is China. Anyways, so that's the problem here. We've got difference of reporting, which is causing some confusion in some of the articles. However, yeah, We Ride reported. If you like that WRD, I mean, you can watch this. It's you look at their stock price. It hasn't really done much recently. There was back in February this massive spike and drop in it. Carlos, I don't remember really looking at it at that point in time, but um, it's anyways, they're on the list of reported stocks. Yeah, see, there's the big hit
Yep.
$40, came all the way back down.
Gotcha, man. All right, Peter.
And
What else? I know we kind of covered the earnings and the gap down. Anything else that you like before we go to the chat and see what they have for this morning?
Look, I mean, of the everything we've talked about, the headliners are my favorites, right? So Meta, Microsoft, Hood, Carvana, those are probably the top four that I'm definitely going to try and keep an eye on. If I have the bandwidth, I might take a look at Qualcomm. And I might take a look at APLD, but probably not. Like I just figured this stuff is all so far away. Like I mentioned, CVS. Normally that would be on my list, but now it's way down in the secondary. I think we're going to be busy between those four that I mentioned, Meta, Microsoft, Hood, and Carvana, and then the regulars. So we haven't even talked about any of the usual, well, other than Meta and Microsoft, I guess. But what about Tesla, right? What about Nvidia? I mean, Nvidia took a big jump overnight as and just it was almost like a sympathy move. We were watching it sort of at the same time as earnings, and after hours, this thing went up again, record highs, all-time highs. We are gapping up this morning at a new record spot. Like you got to keep an eye on Nvidia because this thing is just insane. And of course, AMD, which has had a good couple of days as well, not at all-time highs, but is it? Yeah, I don't. It's not quite back at all-time highs yet, but yeah. So those two are on my list as well. Between those, enough to watch for me.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, so much going on today. All right, friends, let's take a look at what you guys like this morning. Again, I can add more to my list. I got my list set already. Meta, Microsoft, Nvidia, Hood, Roblox, and then I have secondary Amazon, SMCI, and a QCOM here. And again, we'll see if I can even watch all this. So much going on. I have
No.
you could easily have a Lenny type list today.
Oh yeah. What about
You know,
PLTR? We didn't even mention them.
no, we
I mean,
didn't. Yeah, we didn't even mention
we're
it.
getting
It's
lost.
just so much stuff. Let's take a look at PLTR, see what that's doing today. Yeah, I'll throw in a secondary. I might not get to it, but I'll throw in a secondary today. Let's put it on there next to QCOM. Let's take a look, friends, over on YouTube. What you guys like this morning? Looking at chat, Fig IPO for today. Okay, we could check that out a little bit later. Meta, Microsoft. Is there a ETF for Meta and Microsoft? I'm sure there is some kind of
Oh,
leverage product for these two. I don't know what they are, but I'm sure there is. Nvidia, yeah, on deck. So I have that one as well. Actually, let me move this up more over here so I can see a little bit better. 1 second, guys, so I can see your tickers. Here we go. All right, what else? Looking in our chat, CoreWeave. Did CoreWeave do anything yesterday? Did they report? They had a
They
big move after
they
hours. I
announced
think they
that they
did, right?
secured $2.6 billion
Nice.
in debt financing, all to fund their AI. So
Yeah,
some good news for them. They didn't report that I'm aware of, but
that
they did have a
is.
big cash raise. Yeah.
Yeah, that is big news, and they're also in the tech world. So though again, there's a bunch of stuff on there. Um, Again, I like CoreWeave. We had some good trades in the past. I just don't have the space to watch it. I mean, I could put it on a secondary, but I probably won't get to it. But I do like CoreWeave. I like their daily too. They've been dropping here quite a bit, so maybe there could be some action. You know what? No, I'm not gonna put it on here because I don't have all that bandwidth to watch all this stuff. So I just gotta stick with the list I have. But Steve, that looks good. Meta is good. Yep. What else, friends? Meta,
Somebody
CoreWeave,
made a
good.
mistake.
They did.
Uh, People are talking about CoreWeave. I was just checking the analyst positions on them. On July 17th, HSBC Securities initiated coverage on CoreWeave with a price target of $32. Yeah, 32. And they said that and they think that you should reduce your size on it. Now that's pretty aggressively negative if that's where they're starting and they think it's going to go all the way down to 32. That being said, today Citigroup upgraded CoreWeave to a buy and put a $160 price target on it. So we've
Hmm.
got price targets from $32 to 200 between the different analysts. Widely different opinions as to what's going to happen here on CoreWeave. So,
Yeah, it's pretty wide there comparing those two. Um, Tesla SMCI. Yeah, I have SMCI on the list, so it is on my secondary. I think it can trade. It traded very excellent yesterday. Played me the day before, but
yeah,
yesterday was just amazing. So
yesterday there's
we'll
some good moves.
see. Yeah, if that continues. And then as far as Tesla, I don't have it on the list, but you know what, Tesla. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm gonna keep Tesla off. I'll let you guys. Yeah, I don't know about Tesla, man. I think your
Huh?
good times are just not over. They're on pause right now. I think there's better
Yeah, it's
tickers
on
out
pause.
there. Yeah, so we'll come back to your regular programming later on. We'll let John let us know if something's happening there. We can look at it. But right now, I'm not watching Tesla. And you guys, if you have it on deck, let me know if you see something great. But I'm not wasting a spot on this stock. It's been
The
trading pretty crappy.
I love this headline here on Tesla. Elon Musk is on track to miss another deadline. Can you be on track to miss a deadline? Anyways, good little
You're off
oxymoron
track.
there, maybe.
You're off
Yeah.
track, if anything.
Yeah. Anyways, um, and this is specifically related to the production of the Optimus humanoid robots. He said that he'd said previously he was going to produce about 5,000 of those by the end of 2025, and they're nowhere near there. So, but like
Yep.
I've said this many times, to me, it's almost non-news when you say Elon, when Elon gives you a date and says, we're going to do this by this date. This thing, so far, he's always done the thing, right? Like, he's always delivered. Never has he delivered to schedule. So, like he gets there usually. So far, anyways, he's always got there. But I don't think ever once he has done it on the schedule he's originally stated. So the eternal
Yeah.
optimist, the man is.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm looking at the weekly now. You mentioned the weekly, right? I'm Brian L over in our chat, good member of ours, comes to a lot of our meetups. Yeah, I'm not sure about it. Again, overall, the weekly and everything else, I think is fine. It's just the spurt of the choppiness in the intraday, if I can even explain it that way, right? If you look at the intraday, let's look at yesterday. Look at the intraday from yesterday, right? Look at this trading.
Yeah,
Yes, you get a
the
drop
open
here.
was pretty bad.
Chop, 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 chop. I mean, it's been pretty bad compared to a lot of other things, right? And this thing has been happening more often than not. So that's why I'm just keeping it off. Again, I like Elon. I like the companies that he's put together. I think the guy's a genius. He'll figure it out. But his stock is not trading well. It's not going to go on the list today. So today could change completely given how everything is doing. And we'll definitely see. One that I saw a couple of you guys mentioning thoughts on Apple. Apple's just it's Apple. Apple has nothing going on.
Apple's Apple.
Nothing. So there's nothing to really see here. They're not in the AI thing. They're failing there. Siri's still horrible. They haven't not been able to upgrade that thing. compared to something else. Like if you ask Google something and you compare it to Siri, Siri's like a child, and Google gives you like an elaborate answer, right? So they're just bad. They're just bad right now when it comes to AI stuff. And as far as trading though, I don't know. They could hop on to some of this, but I think again we're going to go with, as Peter mentioned, the list of the blockbuster names that are on here. The Microsofts, the Meta, Nvidia's on there. AMD's a good one. I don't have it on the list. I don't have the space. I mean, Hood can trade very, very well. We've seen how good that is, and I just love Roblox. If Roblox is on here, I got to put it on the list. They can trade very well.
Apple. We have to remember that Apple, Amazon, what else we got? Coinbase. They are reporting after the close today. So usually leading into earnings, a stock can often be pretty quiet unless there's huge expectations that push it. I think today with, again, the excitement, who knows, it could go either way, but I'm thinking Apple at this point is probably happy to stay in the background because I don't think their earnings are going to be as glorious as what Meta and Microsoft produced. So that could lead to a lot of disappointment. We'll see what happens.
Yep. All right, friends, let's stop here. Let's head over to bearwithtraders.com. You can click on webinars and see what's happening for the next 2 weeks. Today is Thursday.
How did it get to be Thursday already?
I know, man.
I understand.
It's flying.
It's crazy. Anyways, it is Thursday, guys, which means we have 2 sessions for you today. We've got or 3. Oh my goodness, look at this, we got 3. So starting in with the 11 o'clock session with Lenny. Lenny's doing his trend trading mentorship. If you want to join him, that's in the webinar room for all of our elite members. And then how could I forget about Jared? I mean, come on, you can't forget Jared. Jared is Mr. Analyst. He's always got the big picture, knows what's going on. He's going to be talking options with you today. And man, there is a lot to talk about. The options really is what gave us the prediction of what was going to be happening yesterday on some of those big ticker items. So, understanding the options market can give you a huge advantage in understanding where equities are going. So even if you don't want to trade options, it's good to know how they work. And Jared is a master in understanding them and helping others understand them as well. So those are at 11 and noon, again, in the webinar room for our elite members. And then tonight, we've got the ever-popular Thursday mentorship, which is happening at 8 p.m. once again in the webinar room. So hopefully you'll join Thor for that one. He loves it. You love it. Everybody loves it. It's very, very popular. So hopefully join Thor for that. So 11, 12, and 8 are our 3 sessions. Like Carlos said, if you want to join us here at Bearable Traders, just go to the website, bearabletraders.com. You can find all the information. Scroll down to the bottom of the page, and you will get our different membership options from the intro right through to the Elite Annual. So pick the one that's right for you, and you can join us and then see us in the chat room, trade live with us all day, not just at the open. So hopefully we'll see you here in the chat room sometime soon. Carlos, let's set some levels here. We've got, we're doing okay despite everything we had to cover. We're doing okay in time. Get those levels.
Not bad. Some of these levels are going to be extremely easy because everything's at all-time highs. There's no levels to set.
Levels to set. Yeah.
Everything's at all-time high, and this gentleman here keeps holding the rates. I don't understand. Paul, let this thing fly, baby.
You're frustrated with that, right? I had no idea you were so big on the rates.
I think there's some ego involved here now.
Are you trying to renew your mortgage? Is that what's going on?
You never know. I'm in a good position where maybe I want to spend on a couple of things. I need the rates down. If you're a business owner, you want this down. Like if you're small, forget about the big guys. Small business owners, you want this now. So help the small business, my friend. Big business still making money. Come on, drop it like the salt here. All right. So no, I don't need to refinance, but small business want this down. By the way, if Marvel Studios or any of these companies are looking for an actor, and they need like Lex Luthor's son, right? If you need Lex Luthor's son, if you need somebody to play that, this guy's perfect for it.
It's Jared After Dark.
Yeah, he can definitely play that part.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, friends, let's get some levels here. We don't have a lot of levels to set. But no, James, I could care less if we reduce the rates. I just think it's funny that he's not doing it when I think he should, but I could care less. All right, here's Meta, friends. Let's take a look here. Meta high of the pre-market. Is Meta all-time highs? Did we get past? Yes, we did. Meta all-time. Everything is all-time high. So we got past the last spike there. All-time high sitting this morning at 783.15. Towards the bottom, we are looking at 770. 770.35ish. No, 770.18. I don't know why that's wrong there on that. 770.18 is the low of the pre-market at the moment. And then towards the bottom, again, nothing above as we're sitting at all-time highs. And then right here we have a level at 747.99. There is something up here. No, there's not. That's it. That's all you have. Again, all-time highs on Meta. Not much to see here. Microsoft, all-time highs. I mean, just let's keep going here, guys. All-time highs, everything. Low of the pre-market 554.37. The high of the pre-market 562. Right. So if we go down to the bottom here, I mean, man, what a gap. This gap up is just wild. Like I know we've seen it over and over again, but every time I look at it, like to see Microsoft gap up this much into an all-time high is outrageous. As far as levels, you don't have anything until all the way down here, the highs and lows for the last 2 trading days. Nothing else to add. I tell you, these levels are going to go very fast. Nvidia, all-time highs. I mean, you name it. Their all-time high was yesterday, 184.14 or 12, I think it was. Don't know the exact number there. So I'm going to mark that there. That's your all-time highs. High of the pre-market, though, is 183.88, and then 181. 181.80 is your low of your pre-market towards the bottom. Highs and lows for the last 2 trading days. Joe says, yep, low interest rates will lower the interest I'm getting in my Fidelity MMM. Oh, well, yeah, you got it. You know, one affects things both ways. Agree. Let's take a look here. Yeah, Peter?
What's amazing, Carlos, is in the last month here, like we're in the last day of July today. By the way, last day of July. That's crazy.
I know.
Anyways, but in the month of July, Nvidia has added something like more than $500 billion worth of valuation, almost $700 billion worth of market cap, and that's the size of most companies. Like they have added, I can't remember if you add it up. They've added like Ford and General Motors and all of GE, to their market cap and with room to spare. So like it's just it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible.
Yeah. It's insane. All right, next on here, guys. Then we'll switch it over to Brian and Andrew as they trade live here. It's going to be Hood. It's all-time high too. I mean, it's just you know what? This watch list is all-time high list. That's what this is. So it is not all-time highs, but they're pretty close. They're hovering just below it here. Stuck between the highs and lows of the last 2 trading days. They trade very well into it. They've had a lot of really nice breakouts. So I'm looking forward to seeing them as far as that. For the most part, levels don't got to really add much. Maybe right here, 101 could be a good area in case we do sell off. And then also 98.70 is a good area down there as well. Last but not least is Roblox, which I do like. And it's just look at this ticker, man. What is going? Yeah, we are above the last spike, which was back in 2021. And if I'm not mistaken, this is all-time highs. These are all-time high lists. Besides Hood, everything here is all-time high. So let's take a look here at Roblox. And 151.27 is the high of the pre-market. And then towards the bottom, highs and lows for the last 2 trading days. That's all you really have in this area. There's really nothing else for us to do levels on. So again, like this company, I think intraday trades very well. Looking forward to it. All right, Peter, I think we're all set. Let's see how we are with our live traders. But if we have a little bit of time, let's go through what they're watching this morning.
Yeah, we'll let our live traders join in the chat room. So Brian and Andrew, if you're out there, feel free to join anytime. Carlos will make the transition. So let me let everybody know what our moderators are watching. Starting, Jared was in first, eager to trade Meta, Microsoft, and Roblox. He's also going to be watching Hood, NVIDIA, and AMD. Lenny watching Microsoft, Meta, AMD, NVIDIA, Tesla, Roblox, Micron, MU, PLTR, and HIMS. We didn't even talk about HIMS. We've got Thor, who's going to be watching Tesla. Oh, Carlos doesn't like it. Thor does. Mike is going to be, we also know who likes Tesla, right? Who loves Tesla? We all know. It's Paris. All right. Anyways, Mike is going to be watching Meta, Microsoft, and Hood. Thor is adding AMD to his list. So Tesla and AMD are his 2 targets. Brian in with his list. He's going to be watching NVIDIA, Hood, OKLO, and AMD, as well as Tesla. Gary, man, Gary's got a full analysis for our chat room members here on all the stocks he's watching, which include Coin and Tesla, Meta, Microsoft, Roblox, and a bunch more. So I got a couple of IPOs to potentially let you know about. Eamon's going to be watching OKLO for a potential long. I already talked to you guys about my list. I'm going to be watching AMD, Tesla, Nvidia, PLTR, Meta, Microsoft, and Carvana. And Andrew's just like, wow, he's just going to watch everything. He can't even make up his mind.
Yeah.
But if he had to focus in, Andrew's going to keep an eye on Meta, Microsoft, AMD, Nvidia, PLTR, and Tesla. And last but not least, Phil's got SMCI, Microsoft, Meta, and Oklo on his list. So there you go. Carlos has got his at the bottom of the screen. Guys, we're going to do the old switcheroo. Carlos and I are trading live on YouTube. Let's see. I don't even, Carlos, I don't know how this is going to go, but I'm overly excited. That means I'm probably going to be, well, let's see if I can actually trade too much. That would be a departure for me. Let's see if we make...
Like I said, man, I think you're the most versatile trader in BBT. You know, there's Brian logging in. You trade the open, you trade the close, you trade the earnings. I mean, you're on fire, brother. I love it. Love it.
Make it happen.
All right, guys, take care. Brian's logging in. We'll see you guys in chat a little bit later.
Brian,
all right, we'll
Brian
continue here.
Fancy jacket today. Look at that.
On YouTube. Yeah, what? Is that an Adidas jacket? What is a Puma? I can't tell what that is, but it looks good.
That's one of his like Burning Man things, I think.
Oh yeah. Burning. I keep seeing articles. Burning Man is burning through money. Like they're going broke.
Are
the
they?
billionaire's playground is like broke. I don't understand.
Andrew needs to jump in and fund them or something.
They're down like a couple of millions. I mean, if you have these people getting together and there's no transaction of money, so that means you're surviving on donations. You know, and tickets, of course, but tickets is not enough. You think they're too expensive. You got to charge.
How could Burning Man be losing money? I mean, don't they charge like a big entry fee? And frankly, it's a desert. Like,
but it's not enough, man. You got you know, I get it, the free gifting, but the gifting's gotta get a tariff on it. You gotta put a tariff on it and be able to survive. But yeah, somehow they're losing money. I don't know how. Because you're right, they do charge a big ticket. It's in the desert. How much do they pay to use that desert? Could be a thing too. So
I have no idea. I guess that's a reasonable question.
All right, friends. We are all set. 1 minute, 5 minute here, and I think we're pretty good. It's like 400 to 800 a ticket. It's not that expensive. Is it that much? I thought it was much more than that for Burning Man. 400, 800?
Yeah, I thought so too.
It's got to be more than that. Maybe that's just to let you look inside and not even go in, just to look in from the stands or something.
The ticket to get in, and then there's the cost of like the transportation, because you usually have to pay to get a bus to get you there.
That's true. Yeah, you know, it's more than that.
Yeah. Anyways, I don't know. I've never been, and I frankly don't plan to go.
Me and Peter are gonna plan to go. Yes, we'll plan to go. We'll plan to go eventually.
Are we?
Yeah.
I don't know, Carlos.
We're gonna go so we can experience the Burning Man effect.
Yeah, Andrew keeps telling us we need to, but I'm not convinced.
Yeah. I know that year when they had a lot of rain, they were saying that year
then it turns into a mud bowl.
That killed the following year's ticket sales because people were just they did not have a good experience. But Andrew said he loved it. He went that year, I think. So I think he was fine. So, all right, friends, big day. Reminder today, 3:30, we go live again with more major earnings, right? So let's just keep that in mind.
1 minute alarm.
Yep, minutes to the market open. Keep in mind 3:30. We're live again for earnings, and again today we had just a blast. Yesterday, I mean. So looking forward to it. Okay.
What am I going to trade at the open? What am I watching? I don't even know.
I would go with Microsoft, Peter. You traded Microsoft yesterday. You hit the nail on the head on that one. I would look at Microsoft front and center. I mean, if I was you.
We're actually above where I got out of my trade on Microsoft, because 555 was like the best exit I had. Look at this. We're trading all the way up to 562. It's nuts. I can't help thinking that they've got to give some of this back, both Meta and Microsoft. That
it's timing. Yeah, they got to give some back, but it's timing. Are they going to do it at the open? Are they going to do it later on? when is the timing happening?
All right, here's the opening bell. We'll see what's going on. I
Uh,
I have very, very quickly, Carlos, gone short Microsoft. I just took a partial. I wasted absolutely no time, Carlos. I jumped in with seconds. I'm taking another partial. Oh, and I'm not even sharing a screen with you guys. Let's move my stop to break even. Let me share a screen. Here you go. Look at me. Look at me, Carlos. I'm a
Look at you,
monster.
man.
I'm a monster. Look at that. Taking another partial here on
That is
Microsoft.
very, very nice. Very
Five
nice. I
dollar
knew
move
it.
for me.
I told you. Watch
$5.
Microsoft. Watch
Yeah, I
Microsoft. You got
told
the
you.
hot
I,
hand.
I, I felt
Yeah.
like it was going to drop.
Yeah. Friends, a lot going on. This is what you want to keep to your strategies, okay? Wait for your setups. Don't get no FOMO. Don't jump in on things because everything is moving. Wait for your setups. Roblox not getting any volume, so I'm not going to look at that. Beautiful short. Man, beautiful short on Microsoft, Peter. That is
Oh, look at this.
nice.
Taking another
Nice,
partial.
nice.
I'm running out of shares. Look at this. I've got a $8 move. Carlos, one and done, baby. I'm out. See ya.
That is awesome, man. Yeah, yeah, I love it.
We're
Love
only
it.
we're only 90 seconds into the day. No wonder Andrew likes doing this.
Oh, of
When
course.
it
Of
works, it's
course.
heady.
And it's
It's
going.
exciting.
It's going. It's going. Man, what a day, what a day. Meta's trying to hold here. Everything is giving a little bit of sell off at the moment.
Oh man,
We'll see.
look at this. I'm so excited. What am I gonna do?
Uh, yes, Jack, stay focused. Focus is good. Focus, focus. Um, Nvidia dropping. All right, so you guys wait
Oh,
3 minutes. Meta looks interesting, man. Meta's not selling off back above the VWAP. I like it here for a long. I just gotta wait. I gotta wait 3 minutes for it. But I do like the setup on Meta right now. Um, if we can stay above the VWAP and don't
oh,
blow it out. Oh, don't leave.
I made a boo boo. Whoops.
Crap. I think I got it. Oh
I got so excited. I made a mistake.
yeah, yeah.
I accidentally added way down at the bottom there, and then I added so much that it moved my break even like right into the price action. So
Oh damn. Did you get
so
out, or are
I
you
got
gonna try
I
to
yeah,
hold?
so I got stopped out because my stop
Yep.
sort of sets automatically. So
Oh, got
let's
it, got it.
let's
Yep.
let's try going short again. I'm gonna go short again here just because I'm so excited. This is what an
Man,
exciting day. But I'm gonna get out if this thing pops against me at
yep.
all.
I
See
like
if we can
Meta
get a
long
drop
here,
down to
guys.
through
What a
540.
such a bad entry. My goodness. But I still like it. I still like it. I was trying to get in right at the VWAP 773, and I got filled almost like literally like $3 after. I don't understand. This stock is moving. My goodness. Wow. Oh
Yeah, I don't want to
man,
get caught in
this
this
is
thing. I'm just gonna.
holy smokes.
I
Let's
just.
do
I'm not gonna
this.
play around with
This
this
is
too much.
all right, guys. Meta long off the VWAP here. We waited our 3 minutes, and we're getting just. This is an incredible move. This is.
What are
This
you?
is.
What are you getting here? What
I'm
you're not
long.
showing
I'm
us?
long Meta. Oh, I'm watching your screen.
Oh,
I'm watching your trade.
okay,
That's more exciting
okay.
than this. This is. I'm trading
Uh,
boring over here, man.
oh,
Let's
you're
switch to
long
one
Meta.
minute.
Okay, so you're
Yes,
going
Meta,
long
man.
on Meta.
Yeah. Let's bring you in here, Peter. Where are you? Is that it? Yeah, there we are. Got you on this screen as well. Friends, Andrew's also in Meta. He got in a candle before me. So he's in. He was in earlier, partial. And he also has added again. You can see that live, guys. Head over to our website to get access to the chat room. And this goes on all day, right? Like you get just a little preview on YouTube, but these guys are trading all day there. All right, let's see if Meta can continue. If we can get to that 783. This is wild, man. I'm taking a lot off because I did not notice how big this move was
Mm.
until I
Yeah,
looked
see,
to the
that's
side and saw this. Like, this is a we're in $3 already in the green. That's pretty nice. So I didn't. All right, we might get. I'm taking another partial. Wow, the fields are not great. Took another partial here just in case this can quickly go against you. So I want to be very careful. I took another partial there, and let's look, friends. Let's see what you're in with me, Jack. Nice, nice. Love it, love it. Let's see if we can get to 783. Oh, I might get all out here. Yeah, I don't want to go. Yeah, I'm out. I'm out breaking. Wow, the fills are pretty. I mean, Meta has not had those bad fills in a while. It's just because the volume, the amount of volume being transaction here is quite a bit. But wow, nice trade, friends. I knew I got a big concern because when I got in, I hit it like at around 774, and I got filled at 777. I'm like, what is that? $3, like $3 for my entry. But and then I realized we got easily another $3, so that worked out. But yeah, this stock is wild. Peter, are you back in Microsoft?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I got all heady. I was trying to catch Microsoft, and then
my man.
I got in and out a couple of times. You can see here I'm back in, and I actually added.
Yes.
I got in and added. I want to break through 540 is what I'm hoping for.
That is beautiful. Friends, how's the mic? I want to make sure you guys are not getting no humming sound. It sounds good. How's the levels between me and Peter, right? Because I don't have an audio technician, so I don't have nobody to tell me, hey, put Peter up a little more, or me. It's just, as long as it's level and you guys are good, we'd love to hear your feedback, because we do listen to your feedback.
Me, man.
NVIDIA. If I was not in Meta, NVIDIA would have been an amazing, guys, 5-minute ORB breakdown. NVIDIA, look at this pullback. This is textbook trading here. Look at that pullback. Oh, I would have definitely been in here short. No question. And if you look at the 5-minute, I'll show you here. Let's make sure Peter's in this screen as well. There it is. If you look at this 5-minute RB, look at that. That's so beautiful. Oh, wow. That is clean. All right, Microsoft continues to sell off. Hood sell off. Roblox not doing much. Let's go over to our secondary list. Call out some stuff, guys. If you see, I'm still looking for trades. SMCI. I'm not sure about SMCI. I'm not sure. It's above the VWAP here. Could be. You know, I don't know. We'll come back to it. Let's take a look at AMD. It's trying to load here. There it is. Another gray short alongside NVIDIA and Microsoft. NVIDIA, Microsoft, and AMD are all sold off pretty nice there. So, good stuff. Oh, look at Meta. Meta is wild today. Back up. Andrew added here on the drop. Taking parcels on the way up here, and I think Meta's not done. Meta is just a beast. It really is. I love this company, man. I like companies that take risk. You know, this company took a big risk with this metaverse thing, and these are the companies that survive. The ones that are willing to break something to get to where they need to get to. You know, so they're willing to do it. Like, you know, you look at other companies that don't bust, BlackBerry, Blockbuster. You know, you gotta adapt, and this company has done that very well. Oh man, we're still in it. CCL potentially might move. Yeah. I don't like the volume as much on CCL Jody, so I wish they had more volume. It would have been perfect here, but the volume is just not there. SMCI, I saw it hitting the VWAP earlier.
I forgot to share some of the news I wanted to talk about.
Microsoft bouncing back.
Wasn't important news.
Hood. Roblox 5-minute ORB. I know it has no volume. But I like this setup. I'm gonna go short Roblox, guys. I know the volume is very light, but I like the 5-minute setup here. So let's see. So short Roblox. Let's see if we could break this 5-minute ORB. I know it's gonna take some time to actually get this going. My stop 146.55. But let's see if we could break down from here. Oh look, Peter, the stock you were talking about, PBM. I'm watching it on Andrew's screen. He's looking at it. It's not in it, but that stock is flying. PBM. I think you mentioned earlier today they have some news.
We did.
Up 64%. Opened up around 740, up to 9. Just jumped from 870 to 914. It's gonna get halted.
Science. It's science.
Here it is. Anyways. It's about to get halted.
Yeah.
Wow.
What is Andrew? Why is Andrew going low float?
No, he's not trading.
He's just watching it. Yeah. Well, that being said, I want Microsoft, so.
All right.
I did get stopped out, by the way, on Microsoft. Look at this. I could have gone short again. Now maybe it's going to break 540.
Yeah.
I should have been a little calmer on my trades here. I was chasing it a bit.
Yeah.
Well, you got to learn. I'm not a big trader at the open, so you want to scalp these things successfully and add into your scalps. You got to practice.
Yeah.
Clearly, I need some practice. So
no, man,
that's okay. I had a good morning. Great early trade here.
All right. PLTR. Yeah, PLTR, you know what? As much as I love trading PLTR, it has its days where it can be pure garbage. Like this is garbage open. Now, keep watching it, right? If you train the entire day, keep watching it because it will give you your breakout. It will. We've seen it plenty of times where you have this really nasty days. We'll go back and look at the daily, right? You can get the breakout going. So definitely keep watching it.
Well, Carlos, you were right about Tesla. Tesla's super ugly here at the open
man.
So far. Yeah, it is ugly, yeah.
Now it's doing something, but look at the market open. I see this a lot out of Tesla. It's just choppiness, right? They're just not they're not the stock in focus right now. But yeah, look at the nice breakout now. Let's see if they can get going. Nice breakout of this 5-minute or a B-ish choppiness here. But this is what it is. It's hard to predict these breakouts when the last time you had something similar, you get slammed on, right? So this is a very hard trade to take when the history you have is this, right? So, and with volume, like you're getting volume on these couple of breakouts. So not an easy trade to take there, but if you're just able to join that, awesome. Roblox is going to stop me out here. Let's see if we can get lower. No, Roblox is going to stop me out. So looking to jump out. Are you selling off? I feel like it's gonna sell off. No, I'm gonna get out. We'll get out of Roblox. We'll jump back in later. But the volume is too low. Volume is too low on Roblox. Nvidia short. It's hard to go short, Peter, because you don't want to short a strong stock, and all these stocks are strong. All these stocks are massively strong. So how do you go short? It's not the easiest thing. Like Nvidia right now, I would normally like this for a short here. I do like it for a short though. Okay, I know I might be trading a lot today, but that's okay. It's one of those days. I'm short Nvidia. It's one of those days.
It is. It does feel like one of those days.
Yeah, it is. Let's see if we can get dropping here. These all-time stocks, all-time high, strong for the day. They're hard to short because it's just they keep pulling back on you towards the strength they want to be in. Right, it's a strong day for them. But let's see if we can get lower on Nvidia. Normally I will be in here, but I have a feeling we might have a little bit of a sell-off. Hopefully towards the previous day close. PLTR broke out? No, PLTR's not breaking out. Still not doing anything. And for a short, it's very tough to trust it here for me because of the choppiness we've been seeing, right? So it's a hard trade to take right there. All right, let's see. Oh, see the lack of volume on Roblox, man. Right, yeah, the volume is too low for us to trade it. So is it cold in Vancouver? I see Brian's got like a teacup. He's got like a jacket.
I don't know.
Cold
it is
over there?
Vancouver, so it's possible.
What's the weather in Vancouver?
I don't know. Let's find
62. Oh, I was asking Siri. It's 62 right now.
I see.
All right. I wish it was 62 over here. I wish. That's be awesome.
16 degrees.
33 yesterday. Wait, Fahrenheit or what are we talking about?
I assume so.
Fahrenheit, right?
Nvidia's dropping. Let's see.
That's hot. Celsius, that's hot. Yeah, that's pretty hot. All right, I'm sure Nvidia. I want to go back in on Roblox, but I missed the entry. And just the volume I didn't like.
Chicago PMI number, which was just released. Not one of the ones I was tracking heavy, but a lot higher than expected. 47.1 versus 41.9.
Yeah.
And that's relatively bullish. Market's doing its own thing, though. It doesn't have time. Doesn't have time for these numbers. It's busy giving back some of these gains, which is maybe not too much of a surprise. Like I said, I went short Microsoft just because I didn't see a pullback, and I just was convinced it was going to give back some of that incredible gain it had overnight. So I'm pretty happy, Carlos. I traded Microsoft to the long side and to the short side, and I got short pretty much where I got out of my long yesterday after the close. So that's pretty awesome.
No, I did awesome. Take it. Great trade. I'm short Nvidia, trying to get lower. I wanted to jump back in on Roblox, but I'm hesitant because the volume just dies down. But I think the stock's got some sell in it. Hood, yeah, I saw banner Hood here earlier as well. So again, nice breakout there. It's just so much to watch, guys. So much to look at. Ian, yes, the heat wave finally broke in NYC, man. It has been brutal. So today is actually much nicer. What is it today here? It's like 75. So it's not 90 when you wake up in the morning, which is awesome. So we got some rain coming. Wow, this is actually kind of our setup here, guys. Breakout above VWAP, pullback banner. I know you called this out. Hopefully you took it, and look at the move here. So this is our VWAP breakout that we look for. Excellent trade. I mean, that is just nice. I'm short Nvidia. Probably gonna get stopped out. 181.79 is my stop here. So we'll give this about $1. Hopefully it has slower, but again, good day on Meta. I don't want to give a lot of my profits back today, so I gotta be careful how many trades I take here. So Meta definitely. I should have done it just one and done, but I feel like I have to trade so early.
Yeah.
So early to call it a day with so much stuff happening. Feels that way. Do I have a stop in place? I have the area when I want to stop out. I want to stop out right here. So if we come back to this area and these sellers don't show up, then it's likely it's going to go above VWAP and higher. So my stop 181.79. I don't have a stop in the system. What I'll do is I'll look at the price section. I have my hands on the hotkey, and then I'll execute the hotkeys on here. So yeah, looks like we might be getting stopped out on Nvidia. As Brian says, don't short a strong stock in my ear.
Well, sometimes you got to do it.
Yeah. Yep. Sometimes
my
you gotta
opinion.
do what you gotta do. You did on Microsoft and it worked out very well.
Yeah.
So yes, sometimes you gotta. It's timing, right? It's all timing. If you can nail the timing down, you could do very well, no matter if the stock is strong or weak. Friends over on YouTube, if you haven't done so already, hit that thumbs up. We really appreciate it, man. I'm excited for YouTube and the stuff that we got coming up. We were talking about some of it yesterday, and I'm very excited. So make sure you guys subscribe. Keep coming back. It's a lot of great things happening with this channel. And again, it's our community, right? It's our community to be able to share things with you guys, trade together, learn from each other. It's awesome. It really is. So thank you guys for being on. Really appreciate it. It has become part of our mornings to get together with you guys. So it's awesome. Nvidia, I didn't like that pullback there. It could be setting up for a long. I'm not going to switch my position. I'm going to wait to my stop here, but I am not going to switch to go long here. Roblox did not actually sell off. Hood was a beautiful VWAP breakout trade, so hopefully you guys took it. Peter, you should still be short on Microsoft. This thing is trending lower nicely. No,
unfortunately not.
What happened? Show us your trade here. Hold on. Let's take a look.
I said I was in and out a whole bunch of times. I started playing around with it, and
yeah.
And I said I added accidentally at what was the low at the time, and that got me stopped out. So then I was just like making these little
you did mention that.
trades.
Yeah, but you went back in, I think, right?
I did go back in, and my last trade was pretty good because you can see I got in a couple of times, and then I got a partial, and then it stopped me out. This was the last trade in here.
Yeah.
These ones. And but yeah, I could have got back in when it bounced up here. I just I decided, you know what, I don't want to go too crazy trading every little blip. So
yeah, I wonder if this works. Testing Nightbot, see if Nightbot works. Oh, there it is. It does work.
Andrew's going long Microsoft now, so
very nice.
Oops.
All right, so Nvidia I think it's gonna be a long. I'm probably gonna get out before my stop here on Nvidia, because yeah, I think it's turning around. All right, I'm still in the green. I don't want to give much back, so we got to be careful here in the next couple of trades. Meta long, yeah, I think Meta is a long, and not based on any strategy. I think the stock is strong and it wants to go higher, so I can't take the trade just based on that because I don't really have a strategy. But I think Meta is a long, and if you could put your stop in a good place to survive some of these pullbacks, unless something breaks out in the market, this thing is going up, baby. I mean, it's just what it is. I think Microsoft is a beautiful reversal here as well. You got your profit takers out the way already, right? People are happy. And there's no other way to go back up. I mean, we'll go higher, but, you know, Powell doesn't want to drop the rates. He wants to do nothing. So,
yep.
Things are just settling in here. All right, let's see. All right, what else, friends? What else are we looking at? Roblox got messy. Wow, Hood is definitely giving me some FOMO because Hood is just, it doesn't get cleaner than that. SoFi. I'm starting to see these guys everywhere now, Peter. They got in a partnership with the NBA. Yeah, they got like some kind of official partner with the NBA. I'm seeing them in a lot of ads on YouTube channels. I mean, they're everywhere. So they're definitely getting a lot going on. Osam Hims, let's take a look at Hims. Andrew long Microsoft a couple of minutes ago, so you can see his trades right over here. Here you go. There's Andrew, there's Brian. Andrew in the office nice and early. Vancouver looks great today. Doesn't look, is it cloudy? How does it look out there? Looks nice. And yeah, so far to the moon. How is SMCI today? I know Andrew crushed that one yesterday. Didn't do good for me the day before, but today it's not. It's okay. I don't see anything overly explosive on it right now. I really don't. Market's gonna turn green. How many people we have watching? I want to do a poll. Let's do a poll. I want to see what you guys think about this? Nvidia. Glad I got Nvidia. It's taking off here.
Oops. Sorry about this. Dentist just called me. I thought it was an emergency. It was not.
Roblox. SoFi, man. SoFi. Beautiful thing. What are you guys in today? What are you guys trading right now? I'm in nothing at the moment. Explosive trade on Meta. I mean, this was really nice. Andrew traded this as well. Microsoft was just a beautiful short, and man, this is incredible. Long Hims. Okay, how is Hims doing? You guys mentioned that a couple of times. You mean Hims with an S, right? Not with a Z. Is there a Hims with a Z? There is a Hims with a Z. Oh, you're not making a mistake. There is a Hims with a Z, Peter, with a Z for my Canadian friends.
There you go. What the heck is this?
What is this Z for? 2 times leverage on Hims. Did not know that. Okay.
Do you really want to do that?
Not when the stock is moving. I mean, it could, but the price is the same, right? What's the price? It's 38. That's cheaper. So maybe for managing your buying power, right? You could do that.
I guess.
The move is the same. Again, just because 2 times leverage, still manage your risk accordingly. It's all about that risk, right? Risk the same amount. But yeah, the buying power management could be a little bit better. Don't use as much buying power. But it's on fire. It's on fire. So nice. I never done a poll on YouTube. How do you do I think I got to sign in as something else here. I want to try this. Peter, what else did it disconnect from your Porsche? Anything else? I don't think you show our YouTube friends your pictures of your engine.
Oh my God!
In the wrong place. I know you show your chat.
There's nothing more to disconnect. They literally removed the entire engine. Like it's not even attached. Yeah.
Now I noticed on one of the pictures you showed me yesterday, the guy's wearing a Porsche hat. Now this is a Porsche dealership, or this is like okay, it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So hold on a sec here. I can bring it up here. We can there.
Yeah, something's wrong with that.
That's my car up on the hoist, and there's my engine down below it. It's not attached. So there's a close up. You can see the engine is physically removed from the vehicle. That's scary when you walk in and you see your car engine. I've never seen my car engine before. I've owned this car for like 20 years, and look, there's the engine. That's what it looks like when it's not attached. So, and there's the guy working on it. So what he's holding here, this is the electrical harness for the engine. And look at all the connectors that are just sitting here. Like that wasn't attached to anything. It was just resting on the top of the engine. So, so yes. And it looks very expensive. It's going to be extraordinarily expensive. Again, probably for this repair, I'm going to pay the cost of a Honda Civic to get it fixed. So, it's not going to be. It's going to be costly.
Well, you got to keep trading Meta. I mean Microsoft, and you can pick
this,
man. Yeah, keep trading Microsoft the way you have been. You'll be fine. Guys, Hood is just, look at this, into the green, right? Did a beautiful VWAP break out there and just has not looked back. I mean, this stock is trading so well. So hopefully you took this here. Just an incredible pop as we're getting to 10 a.m. It's only been 30 minutes to the market open. I know it feels like a whole day already of trading, but it's only 30 minutes. We still got plenty more action to go here. Nvidia getting above the VWAP here. If it can hold, it can be a good long. I'm trying not to overtrade today. I have a good day already, but I feel like look at I feel like I need to be in something. I feel like I need to be in something. Roblox. I might get back in on Roblox, guys. I think, yeah. Another try on Roblox. I know, not the best, but we fill the VWAP here. Let's see if we can get lower. I would love to get 138, 140 on this thing. Volume is low, so I got to give it room and time, right? Which is two things I don't like doing, but we got to give it room and time on this thing. So 146 is my stop. Is, you know, giving it a $2 stop is okay on this stock. It's not going to kill you. But we're expecting to hopefully get $3, $4 on it, right? So let's see. Let's see if we can get at least to 1R. I'm going to be patient on it. Hi, Carlos. Is the blue line VWAP? Yes, it is. Blue line is VWAP right over here. So that's the VWAP that we don't want to hopefully stay above. So we failed this line, right? I got in for the VWAP breakdown plus a beautiful 5-minute ORB. I'll show you here. This is a great 5-minute ORB. Like if you look at this here, here's the 5-minute range, right? So I got short for the 5-minute ORB after the selling pressure there, and it looked awesome. Just the volume just immediately died down. Immediately the volume just died down, and we couldn't hold that drop there. So we're back in after we failed this drop, this pop above the VWAP, back short, almost around the same area, a little bit lower on the entry. But let's see if we can get to at least 1R and take some partials out there. So that's my thought process on Roblox. They're up 14%. I think they can afford to give some back. Please. That would be nice. So let's see here. Yeah, give some back.
I'm just looking at some of the comments in here. That looks expensive. Just talking about the car.
Look expensive.
Yeah, it is expensive.
That does not look cheap, especially now.
Yeah, Alex Haley
saying
that's the cleanest mechanics shop I've ever seen. Look, it's a brand new Porsche dealership, and yeah, it's very pretty. You know you got an expensive repair when they tell you two things. One, because I went yesterday to see the car for the first time, so that's why I have those photos. Yeah. One, when they're like, you have the biggest build in the shop, so we're giving you, you know, all the space that you need. So that's never good. You don't want to have the biggest. You don't have the biggest build in the whole shop.
No.
Yeah,
no
absolutely not. But there I am. And the second is when they give you a car like this. And they finally got me a loaner. I've been waiting for like 3 weeks. They finally got it, and they said, "Look, you just keep it as long as you need it. You keep it until we're done. You know, don't worry about it. Do whatever you need." The guy said, do whatever you need to do. Go wherever you want. You just can't leave Canada. But
yeah,
because just take it. And this is
your
a
repairs are going to pay for
the
time you're going to have this car. Your repair cost is it's built in. That's how much it's going to be.
I'm basically buying this car.
You're paying the lease while you have it.
You, Sam, no, this is out of my pocket. No, insurance will not cover this at all. It's a mechanical issue, so yeah, it's all on me. So yeah, I mean the car's still worth like 50 grand, so it'll cost me 20 grand to fix it. So you know, look, I said I've owned it for 15 years. It's a 20-year-old car, and it's been great. I have not had to put any money in repairs in that entire time. So I figure, you know, it's worth it if I get another 5, 10 years out of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Coolant system sort of wore out.
Question. No, I think it's a question in regards to Andrew and Meta. No, Andrew's out of Meta, I believe. I think he's out of that already.
I think so. He did try it. He tried along on Microsoft. That did not go well for him. I think he did get out of Microsoft.
Yeah. Okay.
Still dropping.
Yep. Yep.
And Hood is still going, Carlos. It's
insane, man. Look at this. 109.48 is the next level I have on here. My Roblox is trying to get, I think we got a drop coming here, but it's struggling to get going. We got to half an hour, but I feel like we need to wait a little bit longer on this thing. So let's see. Yeah, Hood was incredible. Go ahead, Peter. You said something?
No, sorry, I was just reading here comments I was missing in the chat room. Trying to catch up on things here. I feel, disappointed I didn't quite master the Paris, get into a trade, add at the bounces, get out more at the lows. I had every opportunity on this. I blew it with my accidental ad. So, anyways,
Yeah, it is what it is, man. Still a great trade, but yeah, it's the ad
yeah,
messed you up there, unfortunately.
yeah, it did. I should have just let it ride, but anyways, Andrew's still trying to get long on Microsoft. Nvidia back below VWAP here.
Yeah, Nvidia is it's it's a struggling,
A-
starting to get going. It's a tough spot, man. These stocks, all time highs,
APLD,
strength. Yeah, we saw that
you're an
earlier
opening
today.
range break trader or a high of day trader, or APLD had a couple of good opportunities, it looks like, but it's on my secondary list.
Hood try and put in their biggest pullback ever since the move of VWAP here. Um, is HIM's all time highs as well? Uh, all time highs. Yeah,
Look at Meta.
oh, it
Meta
just
is
pulled. HIM's just pulled back from their all time highs, sitting over here. Man, this is
it's amazing.
insane.
Meta is holding this level, the 780, and it's just, yeah, I
Yeah,
guess it's found its new price.
yeah, yeah. I mean, guys, if you had a rough day today, just look at your 401k. Just look at your 401k, and you can smile. This is not a big deal if you had if you had a rough day, right? You come back tomorrow, that can provide some warmth and comfort. I mean, that's it. Just look at it. Don't touch it. Don't get any ideas. Just look at it and just kind of nod at it. Give it a little
So,
wink, like, you know, that's it. That's all you got to do. Meta might be going for it again, friends. 783. This is the stock to play today. I know it's going through a rough stretch right here, but this is the stock to get going. And again, you don't got to take a lot of shares because the moves are insane. Like this looks small, but this is almost a $3 move. So careful, careful, careful. Um, it is tough to continue to break new ground above all-time highs, but Meta might have another 790ish pop. What did Jared say for the numbers, Peter, yesterday for Meta? What was the Did he talk about any thing as far as range today?
not for
I missed
today. I
it.
mean, yesterday the
Okay.
expected move on it was $40, and it
Yeah.
blew through that because it did
Right.
almost twice that. Well, I mean, it did like one and a half times that, I guess, at
Mm-hmm.
the right at the earnings, and now it's more than twice that. So yeah, I don't know. I think all bets are off in terms of expected move at this point,
Yeah. Yeah.
because it's two times range. So
Um,
looks like
yeah. Eight
Andrew's
hundred is a
long on
lot.
Microsoft is finally working.
But you don't got to take a boatload of shares, right? I know it's a $800 stock, but you don't got to take a boatload of shares when you're gonna get a $3 4 move, right? So you just
Right.
you don't gotta like load the boat. Like I'm not taking 500 shares on this thing, right? You don't need that. Now, what you could do is you could also is there a ETF for Meta? Lower price? There
Oh,
has to be.
I'm sure there is.
If Hims has one, Meta's definitely gotta have one. you know, I mean Hims,
Yeah.
come on, let's be real. What's Meta's guys? Walden, you love Meta? Yeah, Meta's getting it done today. What is your what is? Do you guys know? FBL. Okay, FBL. Let's take a look. FBL. There it is. Look at this. Not as nice looking as far as volume, but that's okay because when you get in here, you're still trading Meta, right? It's kind of doing the same thing Meta's doing, right? So it's like when Andrew does NVDL. he's still looking at Nvidia when he's taking that trade. So if you look at the overlay there, and you look at let's take a look. We look at actual Meta. See, exact same thing, right? Exact same moves. You just can't read FBL as good, right? You won't be able to read it because of the price action. So, and keep in mind, as I always mention, always manage your risk. It's 2 times leverage, but even if it's leverage, you can always manage your risk, right? If you say, hey, I'm going to risk $300 here, $200, $100 here, that's what you risk. Don't get creative and decide you're going to see what happens, right? Risk the same amount, have a good risk management, and you'll be okay. We're telling our P Capital mentees yesterday as we did our closeout meeting, right? Everybody kind of gave their advice, and one of the advice that we gave them was, you got to be an amazing risk manager. Like we know some traders that are not great traders, but they are incredible risk managers. And if you could do that, you can survive. But if you're a great trader, you could be the best trader in the world, and you have horrible risk management, you ain't gonna be around for long, right? So be an incredible risk manager in this business, and you'll be okay. Even if you're not the best trader, right? Just manage your risk, and you're good to go. All right, Roblox.
Agreed.
Back and forth. Yeah.
Most of the big traders, you're absolutely right, Carlos. They're just excellent risk managers. They're not necessarily like even Andrew. I mean, look at Andrew, man. He's made tens of millions of dollars here trading, and arguably his trades are not all that great. But he knows how to manage risk extraordinarily well. So he is net profitable every time, and he can increase his size and manage that risk so effectively that it doesn't really matter, right? There's inefficiency all over his trading, but he can manage the risk. So
yeah, that's it. Manage the risk, and you're fine. And some people are like, oh, it's over trading. Is it over trading? If you manage your risk and you know what you're doing, it's not really over trading, right? There's a fine line between what's over trading and what's not.
Right.
So I see over trading as breaking your rules. Are you breaking your rules? If you're breaking your rules, yes, you're over trading. If you're not breaking your rules, just because you traded a lot, it's not over trading. So I think it's the perception there sometimes can be way off. That's Roblox.
Like you just said, if it's unstructured and not within your strategy, then yes, it could be over trading, and it likely is. But if it's part of your strategy and it's a structured, they're structured trades, then people like scalpers can take dozens, if not, some of them take obscene numbers of trades, but it's part of their approach, and they know how to manage the risk against it. So
what breakout did you have to cut your losses like you do now? Losing a lot. Losing a lot of money. Losing a lot of money, man. I had, we all do. If any trader has been trading for plus 3 years, I'm just going to tell you they had this one big loss. Andrew has his, I have mine. Peter has his. We all have this one big loss that was like, oh, shit. Like if you don't get your stuff together, you ain't going to survive this. You're going to have to go back to work. We all have that one loss, right? And I had that one loss, and I'm just like, you know what? Just stop out, man. Just stop out at 250. Take the loss at 250. Just take the loss at 150, whatever your risk is, and get back in. You get back in if it sets up again. But holding, hoping, wishing, that's how a lot of us lose the most money. Holding, adding on, averaging down. Almost every trader that's lost big money, that's how they did it. Holding a loser and then averaging down, putting, making it even worse. And the stock never comes back. Never comes back. So just get out. Just get out and you know that you can get back in. Like you can get back in and then you can stop out again if you need to, right? But the holding, once you have that big loss, everything comes into reality. And like, Andrew says a bunch of times, commissions are cheap. And you're right. Commissions are cheap. Like, why would I hold on to this loss here, expecting it to come back down? It comes back down, get back in. That is one of the biggest lessons I learned from Andrew. You get back in. Get out and get back in. It's a huge lesson that has saved me tons of money, right? So that's it. In the past, I hold on to this, right? And sometimes you get blessed, right? It works out, and you didn't take this loss here, and you make a lot of money. Sometimes it works, but when it doesn't, ooh. It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. So let's see. Roblox, guys, is struggling. I knew it was going to take its time, but I want to get to at least 1 hour because I'm risking like $2 in this thing, man. 146.50 here, 146. So I want to get at least 141. I don't want to be greedy, but I just want to make this work here. 5 minute looks like it wants to fall apart, but it's taking its time. It's taking its time here. All right, friends, reminder, and I'm gonna send the link now too, so you have it. We'll love to have you guys later on today at 3:30. For our live earnings. Right, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Yesterday was incredible. These stocks really deliver a lot of action. So hopefully, I expect today's gonna be the same. I think yesterday was kind of a preview, Peter, of what might be happening today. So we'll see. We'll see if we can continue to add on to this. Here it is. I'll send you guys the link so you can go ahead and set up that notification. And I'll see you guys there. No, I don't trade earnings. I don't trade in the afternoon. If I do take something, it's swing trades or long-term stuff, but I don't day trade in the afternoon. You know. So I don't make good trades in the afternoon. But again, I always go back to me and Peter were talking about this yesterday or last week. We go back again. I don't make trades in the afternoon when I had to have hard discipline to not overtrade. I haven't tried trading in the afternoon in the last actual day trading with strategies like the last 2 years. And, maybe I have become better as a trader. Maybe now I could, right? Because look at Peter. Peter never traded the market open. He's trading the market open better than me some days. Like today.
Your influence.
So I think experience has a lot to do with it. So I think stick with what you're good at, that time frame. And then as you get experience, you can try other things. Like I always tell people, they want to try the 5-minute ORB. They like the 1-minute ORB. I'm like, get good at the 5-minute ORB, gain the experience. Then you can try the 1-minute ORB because it is very tough strategy, right? It's not an easy one. So maybe I should come back in the afternoon and trade the close with Peter. I should do that. And if I lose money, I could just blame it on him. So it's an easy out from our journal.
All right, I got big shoulders. Out. You can blame me.
That's just Peter's fault. He made me come back into blah 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 blah. Done. Conscious, clean. All right, Roblox, here it is. If Roblox doesn't do it here, I will have to take a partial, guys, because it's just, look at this support we're getting here. That's not good. This is not a fun time. So we need a new low here. We need to stay below this 141.70, or else we could be getting into a back to the VWAP type thing. So very important, not necessarily this candle, but very important. Hopefully before the 5-minute ends here, we can get a new low. Will be crucial for me to stay in this trade. Slow and steady, but okay, let's go. It's hearing me. Like Siri does, which I'm still waiting for my $75 lawsuit payout for hearing me for the last 10 years from Apple. So let's see if they ever send that money. I've never been part of like a civil. Was it civil lawsuit? I think that's what it's called. I don't know what the terminology is.
I guess so. Yeah, class action.
But class action. Yeah. So they sent me a form like, hey, you could be part of this if you own X amount of devices for Apple. You can submit a $25. Anybody else get that? Like $25 dollars per device up to like 5 devices or something, or $20. I forget what it was. And I'm like, oh, okay, let me fill out. I got a couple of tablets and computers and whatever, Apple stuff. I'm going to take a partial here, friends. Let me be patient. So I send it in, and I'm just thinking to myself, there's probably millions of people that got this form, right?
Right.
So you're telling for spying on me for like the last 10 years, you're going to give me like $75? How much are the lawyers making here? The lawyers are the only winners here. How much are they making for bringing up and putting together this lawsuit? Right?
Yeah, well,
I want to see how
it's like 25% or something if they took the risk, usually, which they do. So that's $75 times how many people? Millions of people, they're so probably what you could assume, Carlos, it was probably $100 per person. They're taking their 25% off the top. So,
Right, right.
multiply how many people, they're getting a quarter of that. So,
Yeah,
yeah, it's they don't do it for little money. That's for sure.
they definitely don't. Um, they definitely don't. All right, friends. I took a partial here on Roblox. We are just shy of our 2 hour here, but that's okay. It's a great move. And let's see if we can get any more out of it. I mean, look at the pop. We're up 13% of this thing, so we do have plenty of room to the downside if we do want to sell off some more. Do I have my own YouTube channel? No, man. I mean, I do have it, but I don't post nothing in it. It's a lot of work. Like, you don't understand, like, people, it's a lot of work running the YouTube channel. Like, if you want to do it right, if I'm gonna do something, I'll just do it here on Bear with Trader's channel. I'm not gonna run my own. I did post a couple of reels on my channel, but I don't. No, I don't. Mm-mm. No. We'll do it here, and then then the community's got to go to different places for different people. No, we got a nice little bundle here of BBT moderators. What I do, well, we are going to focus on the truth. We are going to focus on the members, the YouTube members thing. We turned it on, and I do want to do some content for that. Instead of having my own channel, I just do everything under one channel. It's easy for everybody, I think. So. The Wall Street whiskey weapons. Yeah, you know what? Now we could definitely put that behind the members thing. We could do that. Yeah, we could definitely. We'll set up the first episode. It'll be a short one, 20 minutes. Me and Peter shooting the. You know what? Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah. I'm keeping an eye on this PBM.
Is it back up above 10? What are we doing?
No.
Oh no,
$7
quite
now.
the opposite. Yeah,
No, it's halted a couple of times. It looks like the fun's over on this.
Ooh, yeah, no, it definitely is.
But you never know with these things.
It's just, I don't know, man. These are for, again, skill scalpers only, man. Like, there's no strategy here, friends. There's no levels. There's no technicals. These are skill scalpers. You got to be really good at it. Andrew once in a while dabbles in them, does very well. Not all the time, but he rarely trades these. But again, Jared does some of this low flow stuff once in a while. But again, just be careful, guys. Look at this drop there, like boom. And you know what it is too? They're unforgiving. They're very unforgiving. That's the problem. Like, you take a couple of losses on Nvidia, okay, on Microsoft, no problem. You can come back. You make a mistake here, or you have a psychological lapse, and you're paying the price. Like, you're gonna be down a couple of thousands, right? So it's just no. You know what?
Especially
for our Lambos,
especially if you get, like, right now, right? If you get stuck in a halt on the way down, right? Like, you're totally powerless.
Yeah.
So let's say you said, you know what, I think it's going to bounce at 7. So you got in at 7. It's halted at $6.91. You say, I'm only down 9 cents. This thing could reopen at $5 for all you know. Like, it could just blow you out of the water. You have no idea. Like right now, the imbalance is at $6.70. So if it was to reopen at this minute, it would reopen at 6.70, which is 20 cents off that price. Which maybe that's still within your risk tolerance, but you never know. I mean, this thing's not going to reopen for at least another 4 minutes. So
yeah.
Anyways, so there you go. Absolutely, garbage truck that baby.
Yes, no bueno.
That's
no
not.
bueno.
When I take a trade at the open, why does my face show a lot of emotion? Because I have a lot of emotion. I mean, because I'm not used to it. It's not my habitual trade, so I get anxious, both concerned and excited when it works. So
yeah, agreed. Yeah, I do
You
get.
know,
You kind of get honed in a little bit. Like you're like, once you see me do this,
I
if I'm
don't.
doing this and I'm sitting up and I'm like just looking laser focused, yes,
I
it's tense.
there's nothing wrong with emotion in trading. Is my opinion. The
Yes,
problem
agreed.
is managing it, right? And that's where most of us fall, is the
Hmm.
inability to manage those emotions. So yeah, I'll get excited and I'll get, I try as hard as I can not to let it affect my trading and my decisions. But usually what it does is it affects my decision. So what I've learned is to manage it when the trade's not going well. It doesn't affect my decisions then. It does affect my decisions when it is going well, which is which is still problematic because that means I take partials too early. I don't, ride it out. I make bad decisions on adding to a trade. So, that's what I need to work on.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Agree. Friends over on YouTube. So we have how many likes we have? Do we hit our goal? A goal of 400, 450, 273. All right, we need a couple of more to hit our goal of 200 more or so to hit 400. So help us get there, friends. Really appreciate it. It helps the channel out a ton. It's the only reason why we ask. Um,
Rigetti, RGTI you're asking about? What is Rigetti doing? Oh, been up a little bit. Eh, it's okay, but I don't see nothing tradable for me in Rigetti
mhm.
at the moment. Four. All right. Minute and a half away from reopening here on PBM. Assuming they hold it 5 minutes. It is the fourth halt of the day, so they might hold it a little bit longer.
All right, let's go, Roblox. Slow and steady. I'm being patient. We're being patient today. Um, Slow and steady. Uh, Meta, beautiful short, friends. Lost it here. Did not see that coming.
Yeah,
Things are getting a little
a
bit
little bit.
sloppy now, right? Well, there's a little bit some sell-off taking place in some of these tickers. Hopefully, my Roblox can join that sell-off party we're seeing here. Would be nice. Would be nice. Yeah, guys, a lot of tickers. I saw some people throw some other stuff on there as
Okay.
well.
Carlos, we got
Yeah.
about 5 seconds here until PBM might reopen again if it's a 5 minute halt.
Hmm.
I hope nobody's trapped in it, but here
Yeah.
we
So
go.
there it
It did
is.
reopen right to schedule. So, so hey, if you were long this, you might be lucky. It's back up, opened, and it
Yeah.
pushed a little bit higher.
Don't trust it at
No, it
all.
doesn't look like it's gonna hold. I don't know. Is it gonna
It
hold
goes.
here?
I don't know if it goes back below that 6 or whatever line
Yeah,
is. It's
it's gonna
dropping.
probably drop hard.
There. Yeah. It's gonna fall again. I bet you watch. What is it? This is 691. Yeah,
The
691.
limit down is the halt level is at 639 at this point. So yeah, we'll see what it does.
Oh, it's actually holding better than I expected.
Yeah, it's holding for the moment. Microsoft has really sort of gone a lot very flat here.
Oh, dum, dum. All right, all right. It's a normal for an IPO fig to not show the chart data. Yeah, it is normal. Yeah. Usually it'll take a couple of days for it to
Mm.
Oh, but it's not even open yet. Okay,
It's
so it's
not
not
open
even
yet.
open
No.
yet. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's empty into the open. They don't even in some cases you're not even going to see like history, and sometimes they don't even have the name up here. Like the name is not even set up
Yeah.
yet.
So
But then
usually you can tell if something is supposed to open to schedule. Fig is scheduled to open today. Usually it has the name and it might say halted. If there's no name, then it's probably not going to open today. That's one thing I've learned about watching these things. So, so this one looks good to open, but they never tell you when. So you just don't know. So I have alarms set that as soon as it trades over 100,000 shares, it alerts me. So that's how I know when it's open. Because I've learned sometimes they do like a few test shares just to make sure the ticker's working or whatever they do it for. So you can't just do like one share. You got to do some number. I just put it at 100,000 because I figure if it trades under 100,000 in the first minute, I'm not interested in it anyways. So, so. All right, we're going sideways in a lot of stuff now, so looks like everything's calmed down.
nice. So here's our top friends, JVD in number one spot. I never seen that name before, so welcome, my friend. And then we got some regulars here. Mojito. I say Mojito because it has the O's and the J, but it's probably Mojived. Bill, Degent, Sam. Got a couple of people here. Deem, always on deck. Ben. Ben is taking it easy today. Melanie, welcome. Always great to see you here. James. Awesome, man. Can't wait to meet Kyle, good buddy Kyle, BBT, always active. Appreciate you, brother. Can't wait to meet a lot of you guys when we do these meetups. Can't wait to see you. You guys gonna have to wear like your YouTube username so I can know who you are, with maybe even your emoji picture on it, so I can say, oh yeah, this is Ben, this is Walden, Marco, Nico. Yeah, this will be awesome. Nico, estoy muy bien, muy bien, muy bien. So I'm learning. I started to play these language videos of Arabic. Trying to learn Arabic.
Arabic. Oh,
Yes,
okay.
Peter. I get confused for Muslim Arabic all the time. Every time I walk into
Yeah.
7-Eleven and Salam Alaikum, I'm like,
Uh,
you know,
I was gonna
uh,
say with the beard, do you
and
really want to know
yeah,
Arabic? It
and
might
they, I
cause
have to,
some
I
confusion.
have to. I'm getting confused all the time here in this area. So I'm like, no, I'm Dominican, I'm Spanish. He's like, oh, the beer, man. You got the look. I'm like, I do. I'm gonna learn it. So then I can respond back to you. You'd be like, oh, what's going on? So now we could actually have a conversation. So
Okay.
I'm learning.
Well, all right. Good for you. It's hard. It's hard learning a language. I am no
It
good. I'm
is.
glad that I learned French when I was young, so I've got French and English, but I like even Spanish, I figure with French and English, I can sort of read some Spanish, and if somebody speaks
Yeah.
really slow, I can understand because there's a lot of root words, obviously, common, but I still no good. Not, yeah. My wife speaks a
Yeah.
little Spanish as well, and I'm just, 'cause she learned it in school. I realized language is not my strength. Not my strength. So,
I'll say Ale. What is? I don't even know how to read that. Mashallah, mashallah, brother. Okay, yes, yeah, yeah. It's a great language. Come on, English, Spanish. I mean, well, I guess I know those already. So I'm like, yeah, they're boring because I know them. But mashallah, brother. I mean, come on, how cool is that? So I walk to
alaikum
the
assalam.
7-Eleven and be like, you know, say a couple of things. I want nam. I think it's nam. I'm learning it. Don't kill me. I'm just learning. I've just started. Just started. But yeah, man. It's like,
Oh, look at Nvidia. Oh,
you know.
I was gonna take it. I wanted to take Nvidia short at VWAP here, but it's moving slow now.
You see,
Slowed
Peter,
down a lot.
when CRNX joined, he thought I was Muslim. Yeah, trust me, you're not
Oh,
the
how
only
are you
one.
Okay,
guys?
well,
Hey, how are you,
Yes,
my
man.
friend? Mashallah, brother. Is that
okay.
right? Did I use that
Well,
properly? I'm,
hopefully
I'm
you're not insulting anybody by accident,
hopefully not.
because
I'm
you know
taking.
that's not the intent. So.
No, of course not. But
Oh,
but yeah, I get confused all the time, all the time. All right,
All
let's see
right.
here.
So, how's everyone doing on YouTube, guys? We had a
Hey,
really good.
Andy.
I had a really good
Let me
trading
switch
day. I mean,
over.
Oh,
uh,
your day ended up good. It looked like you
yeah.
were struggling on some of those trades. So
No, I mean the Meta was really nice. We traded Meta very nicely, and
good.
Microsoft trying to catch this reversal on Microsoft. Although I might actually get a stop out on it. So, but Nvidia was also nice. The
Oh
Meta at the
wow.
open, we
Meta.
went super aggressive on Meta at the open. So if I want to show you exactly what happened here, it's a pretty aggressive trade. So Meta sold off and then really quickly came back up for a 1 minute range breakup. This would have been a really good entry. I kind of chased it for the breakup high of the day, partial, got a stopped out, and then one more time again went up. I got a stopped out, and the last time I said, I'm not going to trade it anymore. So that would have been essentially three trades here, but very aggressive, big size. So this one was flat, this one is a profit, and this one's profit.
Mm.
And yeah, Nvidia was also another trade that we had. So try to Brian, I should put in my mind that try to catch this squeeze in the Nvidia again and couldn't. And Microsoft was a trade that I tried to catch this reversal on it a couple of times and I couldn't. Now it's actually going down against me, so I have to get a stop out on it. I think Microsoft might be a good reversal at S4.
Yeah,
And
Microsoft
as you
was
see
my
there,
sort of one trade today.
I know you traded AMD short, huh? At the open. That was
Yeah, right off
super
the open.
amazing.
It surprised myself. So
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah,
But there were some really good
we
trades, like
shocked.
SoFi. People in the chat room called it SoFi was really nice. A lot of people like we saw this ABCD pattern. I didn't trade this trade because I just don't like Chamat, and this is one of specs of Chamat. But this would have been a really nice entry. So I think a couple of our traders did it. Brian, you traded Hood as well, I think, yeah, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I traded Hood as a rising devil. It was a little dicey. It wasn't setting up as a rising devil until almost like the last 2 minutes when it actually, because it was trading above the VWAP, um, going into the open, and it was those last sort of 4 minutes where it actually dropped below the VWAP, which is my criteria for rising devil trades. So when it popped up above the VWAP around 104, I shorted it and got a nice drop on it. I was targeting S4, which was basically about 101, and it got to 101.07 and kind of missed that last little push because it didn't quite get to where I wanted, but I partialed on the way down. So that was probably my best trade. And I'm still short Tesla. Tesla's just grinding lower here. SPY is dropping. It
wow.
looks like we've kind of lost a pre-market level.
Hmm.
Low of day on SPY right now is about 637.75 ish. I think we might be heading back there now.
Good morning, guys. So yesterday, Carlos and I were having conversation about
Morning.
YouTube. I think we're gonna do more giveaway on YouTube. So one thing is that, guys, if we get to 1 million, I'm gonna give a Tesla to one of our YouTube viewers. But I think we're far from to getting 1 million. I think we need a viral video or something like that. But having said that, I think Carlos was thinking that we we do like a giveaway maybe twice a week or something like that.
Hmm.
And then maybe people who are the member on YouTube, part of the Lamborghini or garbage membership, we actually you can have a better chance or we give you something else. Oh, one thing that we want to do is we want to first week of December, we want to do retreat in Thailand, 1 week trading and, mindfulness and mental wellness retreat in Thailand. We found a really amazing place. And we're going to do a draw for people who are on YouTube and they're member of YouTube, not just the audience, the member, because you can have a membership on YouTube. I can take 1% for free, which is valued at $4,000. So That's what Carlos suggested.
You get a Tesla and you get a Tesla.
Everybody gets a Tesla.
Everybody
Maybe
gets a Tesla.
Everybody get a Tesla. Yeah, so the Thailand retreat, I'm gonna launch it probably this week. So 1 week, let me actually send it to you. I think the website is also ready. I'm gonna actually send it. Let me see the website. It should be ready as well. So we're gonna launch it today. I'm gonna send the newsletter. So the cost is gonna be $3,000 for 1 week, and it's private room. And if you want to bring a partner, it's $4,000 for 2 people, because you're gonna share the room with your partner anyway. So the second person doesn't really cost much. And it's in one of the most beautiful places in Thailand, and it's a really nice wellness resort. Actually, the White Lotus was filmed there, so we can actually have 1 week over there. Peter, are you coming?
I don't know. I've been to Thailand a few times. There's a lot of fun. Colombia was an amazing time, so that's what's making me think about it. The problem, Andrew, my wife said, you don't need to go as soon as she heard about it. I'm like, what are you talking about?
She said what?
She said, you don't need to
You
go.
don't need.
Yeah, so I have some convincing to do, I think.
Well, why don't you bring her?
Well, that might be a way to convince her because she's never been. Well, I've been to Thailand a few times. Never been with her. So
All right, so I would love to have.
again, we'll work on it. I have to bring her to Italy before we maybe go to Thailand.
All right, that's excellent. All right, any question, guys, in the chat room? Or
Oh, NVIDIA. I should have taken NVIDIA short at VWAP. Silly boy.
NVIDIA really lost.
Yeah, and when it started rolling over there.
Yeah. That's when I was watching it. I didn't pull the trigger. It's my bad.
So Will says, when you started trading, did you ever blow up an account? Yes, I did blow up. I mean, blowing up account by, I had big losses multiple times, $2 million losses twice. The first time was really bad because it was almost 60% of my account. The second one that I had in Liberation Day was 25% of my account. So, just the scale was a little bit less. But, you don't have to blow up your account. Like when I started trading, we didn't have access to these so many programs and funded account. Especially the funded account is really good. If you go through our funded account or any fund program, you blow up and then you realize that you're not ready and you don't open an account. And this is very important because I didn't have access to that. We had to trade. We had to go through that to see if I actually can make a trade or not. But I highly recommend go through this fund program. Not that I want to sell you anything, we really don't make any money out of it, but I want you to go through this pain of blowing something more than a simulator. Funded account is still a simulator. It still doesn't have full consequences, but it still is painful. Like you pay $500, damn, I lost it in 2 trades. It's still painful. So if you can't pass the funded account, you should not open a real account. Because if you pass that one, still there's no guarantee in a real account you make money. But if you can't even pass that one, then you're guaranteed that you lose money on the real account. The Peak Capital Bootcamp is the perfect environment that you can test yourself. You have the support, you have the journaling behind it, you have the mentorship review, group review, private group support. All right, so Microsoft piece of garbage is going down. I'm going to get a stop down on Microsoft. Yeah, so I got to stop that on Microsoft. So let's see if Microsoft goes to S4, I might take another stab at it. So big loss on Microsoft. But yeah, so you don't really need to. So what was the, Mina is asking, what was the cause of those huge losses? Excessive leverage, like adding to the losing position on a leverage product and use the leverage. Like market was dropping and I just kept buying TNA and TNA and TNA and just, eventually blow up. Like adding to your losing position for the hope that it's coming back is the biggest. What percentage of the trader are profitable in the funded accounts? I think it's about 30%, 35%, or something like that. It's not high, and I don't expect it to be like 90% of the people to make money. I think in the success rate of a community is probably a little bit better than industry. I don't think even in our community, 60, 70% of the people are profitable, which is okay. Like, as long as you come into the community, you get a better coaching, and, even if you don't make it to the Olympic, that's okay. Like, that's the whole, like, these sport clubs are like that. You go there, you get the support, mentorship support, and then you either get selected for the national or Olympics or not. That's.
My informal survey, Andrew, tells me that 44% of the people that are with us are making money.
44, that's a really, really good. I'm actually surprised.
Yeah.
Really.
Now, it's non-scientific because I do this survey in the afternoons, but I'll tell you, I've done this survey 891 times. So we've got a pretty good sample size. So that's 891 times, almost every trading day from September 2021 through to today. So it's over 4 years we could say I've surveyed people almost every single day. 44% say that they're green on average. So that's pretty good.
That's a really, really good number, actually. I'm surprised. It kind of makes sense because we have a lot of members that are still from 8 years ago. Like a lot of people are still in there, and that must have been saying something. We have a lot of lifetime members still in the community. If it was low, those guys would have been churned out of the.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go. Tesla's dropped again here. I'm just going to cover some. I'm just trading 320 puts.
Yes, meet and email me. We'll figure something out. What time is it? 7:47, huh? Benzinga. Let's just turn on the Benzinga and see.
7:47.
Zephy, yeah. So a funded account for now is with DAS. We will offer it by DAS as well. If you want a cheaper option, we're going to launch it in Trading Terminal Simulator, which is a web-based platform. But we're going to add level 2 in Trading Terminal as well in the next 2 months. So we got the data from NASDAQ. So we're just going to, it won't be the same as DAS that you see. It will be more like Bookmap. It's more like a visualization on a chart with colors. Because that's much easier. Like Thor is sharing the screenshots, like those ones. Because the web-based applications are a little bit limited in the processing memory, so you can't process so many data, so it's much easier hunting. But it's gonna, be added. And the price would be the same for everybody who is part of the trading terminal right now. But after we launch Bookmap, we have to increase the price because there's only the $20 goes to the exchange alone. You have to pay $20 per user. But anyone who signed up now, I'm gonna honor grandfather forever. As much as we add anything, we're gonna have the journaling coming, funded account is coming. We're gonna add the full futures trading view in there, so you don't really need the trading view. We're gonna incorporate the trading view full library there, and with the futures data, micro futures. Yes, the funded account would be included, Steve, for sure. Yeah. No PDT. Yeah, no PDT. I think the Big Beautiful Bill removed it or something like that. I don't know. I think it's starting soon. The PDT.
I didn't realize that. Is that right, eh? I know they were making a lot of changes to.
Yeah, not yet.
I'm not sure that it's in effect yet, but
FINRA is looking at it. Yeah, they're definitely doing it. Like 2 weeks ago, they want to bring it down to 2,000 for U.S.
Yeah,
residents. So
no.
it's coming. This will be good. But like I told you guys, learn how to trade now. Don't think just because this is happening, you can just go out there and start trading. Learn now so you could be ready. Because I was telling people yesterday, Andrew, that people sometimes don't join trading because they know they don't have the funds, like they don't have the 25,000, so they feel like they don't see the line to get to where they need to get to. Well, now you're gonna see the path. Like, oh wow, now I can actually day trade in and out, like Andrew and other people do, because you don't need 25,000. You could do it with 10,000, 5,000, which is pretty accessible for people, right? But if you don't know how to trade, you're still gonna be in trouble. So learn how to trade now so you're ready when it does happen.
Exactly. The problem, the money is really not the problem anymore. Like again, the funded accounts, the prop firms, you can get, a funded account from them. CFDs, they give you excessive leverage as well. You learn the platform. I give you the money. Like we have through the big capital. I have traders that trading. Like I give you the money, but learn trading. It takes a few years to really get to a point. And again, the key for such a grindy skill is patience and doing it a few hours a day and leave. Like in 10 minutes, I'm gone. Trading is out of my mind. My platform is closed. My mom is here. I'm gonna go, take my mom out, do some stuff with my mom. If I'm gonna go climbing, I'm gonna go skiing. You just have to, focus on something else. But people burn out themselves. They're gonna watch the market for 8 hours, trade, and then because they really want it. But this is not the way to do it. This is not the way to do it.
I'm all out of my short on Tesla. Got to $7 on these puts. Still going. I was targeting S3, which was around 314.
It's freaking Microsoft, man. I'm gonna shoot myself in the head with this Microsoft. Yeah, I'm gonna get another long on Microsoft. I need to get this freaking reversal.
Never say die.
Nvidia went red.
Mm.
So DAS,
Yeah,
you can tell her you can incorporate DAS on the Mac as well. You just have to use one of these parallel software platforms. I think Interactive Brokers has their own TWS that has the Mac version as well. TradingView has it. Another alternative to DAS is Sterling. I think Sterling platform. Maybe they have Mac version. So somebody on YouTube asked about the book. I'm going to publish the book again this week on a different title. I think I realized after I published it, I realized that this title is not really good because, trading for a living is very similar to how to day trade for a living. But this book is all about building a system. It's essentially a comprehensive version of some of my recaps that, you go through that. And, I told you, I teach you not a strategy, but how to actually build a system around it, how to find the stocks in play, how to, identify the setup, how to execute the setup, how to be mentally prepared. The creator wrote chapter 5 for us on the mental edge. So you need the edge on your technology, on your strategy, and you need a mental edge for the psychology part of it. So the title was wrong. That's why I, unpublished it. And it's going to be published this week. I'm just waiting for the cover to design, and then probably today it's going to be over.
Sweet.
So somebody's asking. Sorry, go ahead, Brian.
No, I was just going to say that's great. I'm looking forward to reading it as well. And I'll be, as I mentioned yesterday, I'll be putting my options trading book up on special on the weekend. The e-version will be
Brian
free.
is really impressive. Like he reads a lot. Like a few weeks ago, he went to a cruise, and then he came to my office and he picked up this Anna Cooling book. He took this one to a cruise and read it. Did you actually finish it?
Yeah.
Yeah, very impressive, old man. Very impressive.
You just can never stop learning. It's
yeah.
It's just have to keep me mentally active.
Very nice. Yeah, Brian is really sharp for a boomer. You're really sharp, man. You're really amazing. Like I'm really looking up to you.
The cues, look at the cues. I mean, we've broken down through some pretty key levels here. Yesterday's high.
Brian, which book are you gonna make it free? Options or swing trade?
The options, how to trade options. Yeah.
Oh, trade options. Yeah.
It
So this, I'm
started
gonna
on
send the link here for
started on
you.
Friday.
It's tomorrow. Okay, so this is the book.
Yeah,
I'm
we
gonna
started
send
on Friday.
Brian here a book here in the chat. It's not free yet, but tomorrow it's gonna be free. So I'm gonna put this here in the chat and in the YouTube as well.
Here it is here.
Yeah, Trading for a Living is a really good book by Dr. Elder. It's more like swing trading. It's not really day trading. I was thinking about it using Trading for a Living, and then I did some search and I realized that the title's actually not copyrighted. So you can actually have the same title again.
Yeah. Any VWAP opportunities? We're kind of trading. I don't see anything that's trading near the VWAP except maybe OKLO, which is back down, bouncing off the VWAP. But as far as the cues go, I mean, we're breaking into some sort of prior highs from previous days here. So
Yeah.
next
So we have
next area of support 568.
We have a 7 days refund policy. So someone on YouTube is asking, they're like, yeah, I mean, if you're signing up and you don't like it, 7 days, no questions asked, I'll refund you fully, even if you watch all the videos and everything. Because trading is, I don't want to trick you to joining our community. If you think it's not for you, if you think you don't get any value at it, we don't want you to be either. So we want only people that enjoy. The only thing that you might not get is maybe some credit card fees that, the platform doesn't refund. So you might just lose a few percent of that. But I fully refund anybody within 7 days. No questions asked. Just sign up, watch everything. It's a goodbye. You can say even a bad word to me as leave as well. It doesn't matter. Because we really want a small group of people. I really want a small group of people that are committed and enjoy. We love trading. The one thing that binds us together is love of trading. Like I love to wake up and come and trade and see it. I love it. Like it's just figuring out this thing. I'm long Microsoft, yes. And when I'm traveling, no, I'm not using any VPN. Even in China, I had no problem. The only country that I had problems, surprisingly, was in Paris. Actually, my gas wasn't connecting. I had to use a VPN, but I usually don't use any VPN or anything. So yeah, so we're gonna do more giveaway. So again, we're gonna do more giveaway during the week. Carlos is running it, so he has the software now. We're gonna give one retreat away for free for one of the YouTube members because now YouTube has the membership. So if you're a member on YouTube, we give away one free Thailand for 1 week retreat. And we can do book giveaway as well. And again, if you get to 1 million, I'm gonna do a Tesla giveaway, but I think we're far from that. Like we're not growing as much. All right, I see that Thor is here. Thor is trading with P Capital Bootcamp. Yeah. Today was the last day. It was great trading, Thor. And Thor, Thor is actually helping us in trading terminal. We're going to add all the micro futures data, the camp pivot points. We're building it on a trading view charting library. So it's exactly the same as trading view. So I want people that are using trading view just for some of their library and studies, you can come to trading terminal. Is exactly, I was having an email with trading view people today. Actually, they just emailed me and they're going to give us
Wow.
access to that, and then we add all the data as well.
Nice.
All right, so handing it over to
Yeah.
and
Handing it over to
Chatroom, I
Thor.
know folks are coming as well. All the best.
Have a good
and
day,
see you
everyone.
guys tomorrow. Oh, today
See
also.
y'all.
Wait. Today, guys, for the close for the earnings, the two biggest companies like Amazon and Microsoft, or sorry, Apple and Amazon have the earnings. So today we're going to come back live on YouTube as well.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, we'll see you later on in the day.
Yeah, it'll be fun to watch that for sure. So we had an absolutely amazing morning in Peak Capital today, and it hello everybody out there in YouTube. Good to see everybody. Appreciate you and all of that stuff. I'm really excited. I was really trying to figure out if maybe like if I become a member of the YouTube, can I be also eligible for the can I also be eligible for the trip? You know what I mean? Because I mean that's a pretty big trip, and I was just thinking like maybe like but I need a like a new user maybe like maybe I should create like a fake account or something like that. And I was like, okay, maybe not. No, I'm just kidding. So a couple of things as we get into this. One, today I want to talk about Peak Capital, right? I want to talk a little bit about Peak Capital for a minute. We wrapped up this morning, and we had a great day. We got a short call in the pre-market that I actually took, and you can see here I got short at 23,803 and a quarter in the pre-market. I hit my target right at the open, which was amazing. This thing is still going. What a great trade. But while we were doing that, we also spotted PLTR. This one was a little trickier on me, so it took me 2 tries. But I got my first short when we held and rejected R3. Really well timed. It looked beautiful. It sold, but then it squeezed and took me out. But then it held and I got back in. Ran my stop above 161 this time just to keep myself safe behind the big order that it didn't look like they could fill, right? And then we moved down and hit a target on that one. And a lot of us in Peak took that order, that one. So I'm in the past 3 days, I have hit 7 trades, having 1 losing trade basically to close out this month, which is really why it's so important to keep executing your system, even when it's not quite performing as well, because funny enough, the week before, it was kind of lagging a little bit, right? I was still making money, but it wasn't as big, not as many trades, right? Right. So, but yeah, I know Regilio. So Regilio's in Peak Capital Bootcamp, by the way. So, and I think Regilio and I have hit 2 of these PLTR trades together just this week. So I might hit mine too, buddy. Good stuff, man. Excited. So, one of the things that's the huge benefit for Peak Capital, and we are doing signups already for the next round. Links are in the chat. Right, is it's the small environment. What makes Peak Capital so special is that it is a very small environment, 20 people, or so that are really working, but it's a really high threshold of people working with you. You know what I mean? So we have a really good thing going on there. But next semester, I guess you could say, or next boot camp, I am going from 2 days a week to 3 days a week. So if you want to come to really learn to trade with me, right, and you want to get to trade live with me from 9:15 in the morning through 10:30, right, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I'm going to be doing that at Peak Capital only. So not even in BBT right now. That's in the Peak Capital, right? And then I obviously come out to YouTube to hang out with you guys. Now, speaking of hanging out with the YouTube, so PLTR is in a higher range, and on my platform, on my calculation, so I'm showing that in DOS, in my calculation, which this has my calculation method, we're at R4. We made it to R4. It's a higher range, and I took it off of R4 and this one on, so right there. So I make all my trade decisions based upon my system in here. So I just yeah, this is the Thor mode. So these are my personal calculations, all right, that I utilize. And I mean, for instance, like all right, I'm gonna brag. Can I brag? Is it okay? Can I a little bit? Do you mind? Will it hurt? I don't know. Maybe it will, right? Look today, right? Lower, wider range. You short R3 on YM. Look at YM. There's R3. There's the range. Right? It's right there. Right? So perfect setup on YM today. Yesterday, this was R3 yesterday in the same range. I actually got a short on it from here. Look at that play, R3 to S3. I posted it on my Instagram if you want to see what it looked like. Right? Then look later in the day when the news came out. R3 was 44,913. The high of day. It was within 1 point. You know what I'm saying? Like, just saying. And that was 1 point that started a sell-off. I mean, imagine if you would hit that with reasonable risk. Oh, my goodness. Anyway, I can show you. I can do this all day, right? I've got tickers like that for days on how well this is dialed in and working. But this is my own personal calculation method that I've developed over the better part of a decade. So look at today, but even like look at NQ, right? This was R6 on NQ, right? You can even see where we're all now. Right now, like right now, I wouldn't buy here. We're still in a selling range. This thing can sell all the way down to here today. So it's good stuff. It works. So this is all in TV currently. And if you go to my Instagram, I have links on my Instagram to get to them. I post all of my trades there and on X, so you can find most of them there. But if yeah. So I am in the middle of writing one. So this is two announcements kind of. So one, I am in the middle of rewriting a complete day trading system. And it's going to be updated with all new charts, graphs. I have one new play I'm adding. And I'm going to add a chapter on it on futures. So on the calculation difference for futures. And then, because if I'm going to re-release it, I don't want to just re-release the same thing so there's going to be a new play in here, some new analogies, for reading volume and stuff like that. So all of that new methodology. And then I'm also going to add in a bunch of trade examples. And then I'm going to add in a chapter on futures. So it's going to get re-released as a complete day trading system with futures. When that happens, I'm not going to take a complete day trading system off the market. I think I will leave it up, but I will offer it at a discounted rate when that happens. But I'm working on it now. I'm hoping to have it done before the end of the year. So I'm hoping to release it before the end of the year if I can. But it's going to be called a complete day trading system and then with futures. So it'll be basically the same book, but it's going to have a futures chapter that it explains the futures and then how the system, because the system itself is exactly the same between the two. So I just need to explain the calculation differences and then explain how to trade futures and what they are. So it should be pretty easy. So on it. So right now I'm revamping the old version. And I'm well into that. PLTR did not call on TV, Ross, because it opened in the wrong location. So the system would have preferred it to open lower. So Walter, no, not necessarily. So let me explain this a little bit, maybe. When we're talking narrow versus wide. When we're talking narrow versus wide, what we're really talking about is ATR. And the movement of the previous day in relation to ATR. Right? So if we have a wide day, right, because our ATR is near the edges, our value area is going, so there's 3 value areas, right? And those value areas will be up here, down here, and in here. Right, so our ATR will get created by the value areas at the edge, right? And then the amount of volume we have or the amount of interest we have, right, is what drives our movement to and from the ATR. Wow, there goes PLTR. Go baby, go! I knew this thing was a short. The order book was also looked like it was going to short. So on a narrow range, we play outside. Right, so it's not long or short because it's at R4, right? We're going to go outside. So if I'm at R4, I go short R4 to go outside, right? I'm going to target S6 or something outside the bottom of the range, right? I'm not going to target inside, and that's going to be too tight, right? So I'm going to go outside. Right, so if it's a wide range, right, or if goes above R4, if the book is bullish and it looks like we're going to go above R4, then yeah, I play long for it to go to ATR high. Right, so but the play is based upon the book and the directional likelihood of the ticker. My distance I'm going to target is based upon those considerations. So on a wide range, right, I want this to, for instance, on a wide range, I'm going to short the 4 every single time, right? There is no option on the wide range, right? Because on the wide range, I'm not going to go long right into ATR high, right? So there is no long on a wider range. Because there's a narrow range, there's some flexibility. But on a wider range, and there was ATR to the downside. If I went to look at the narrow range and my ATR low is right here, then I wouldn't do that, right? Because I wouldn't have an expectation to break the range. And I know we're going to break the range because it's a narrow day, which means we're going to go down a little bit and then come back up, right? So I'm going to short the top of the range here on this instance and play back to value, right? And that's normally where S3 is going to be, somewhere sitting right around in here. And this is why on like higher, wider ranges, we buy S3 for the movement back up to ATR high. Right, so that's why the CAM system is so awesome, or at least I like to think it's awesome, right? Is because it factors all of those different things in for you already. Like the amount of process I just gave you, nice, NB Trader. The amount of process that I gave you, I cannot possibly properly quantify to you the amount of time and effort I put on in developing this system. 10,000 hours, maybe. You know what I mean? Maybe more. I know the guy who wrote the code for this TV system has over 400 hours just into the code. And he didn't have to figure out the system. He just had to figure out how to get the code to match the system. Right? So, I mean, I have so much time not only going through and figuring it out, but then also forward testing it. I've been, like I said, this book, I was using the system and detailing it for 2 years before I even started published my book. And my book is 2022, right? So it's 2025, right? So that's that's a pretty solid little chunk of time right there. That's a few years of using a system without it failing. That's not bad, especially since it's based on systems that have been working in the past, right? So the hit rate of the strategy can vary depending on the cycles, right? So Thor mode is just when you load it. When you load it here, you just go into Camaria pivot plays, go to options, and just select Thor. It's done. It forces all the rest of the settings just to make it easy for you. So the hit rate can vary, right? So the past 2 months, thanks to the past 3 days, actually, ironically, I was running about a 60 to 70% hit rate up until 3 days ago. And then starting at 3 days ago, I've hit 7 out of 8 trades in the past 3 days. Right? So it's, so my hit rate took a massive swing, in the upward direction right at the end of the month. You know what I mean? So I probably went from about a 65% hit rate to an 85% hit rate just because of 3 good days. Right. So, but I cannot tell you the last time I ran below a 60% hit rate. On my soft months, it's 60-ish%. On my strong months, 80%. Absolutely mostly shorting, Ben. I'm definitely I would call myself basically a perma bear. But I did take, of this month, I would say maybe 15% or 20% were longs, which I feel like was a little bit more long than I normally am. But I do pay attention. Like I played a lot of counter trending breakouts and stuff. These squeezes that have been opening high again on a lower range and then going the other direction. I've been hitting a lot of those. So I'm struggling to choose stocks in the morning. What is your best advice, Mickey? Do you have TradingView? Or an application similar to TradingView where you can set alerts. And then don't let me forget about this, Tumakano. I'll talk about that. Okay. I have this. This is my watch list. Apple, AMD, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, PLTR, Mara, Meta, NVIDIA, Tesla, SMCI. You know what? No. Hold on. Okay, yeah. And then indices, SPY and Qs, right? And then I have related features, which are basically the same thing. That's it. That is my watch list every single day. That's it. I don't chase gappers. I'm not saying it's not a valuable thing to do. I just don't do it, right? I don't chase gappers. See, I trade the stock market. How do I say this right? There's 2 ways to engage with participation. Right? You can either do the same thing over and over and over again, or you can do the until it doesn't. Right? And that basically is market participation. The stock will do the same thing, the price movement and everything will do the same thing over and over and over again until it doesn't. But it only until it doesn't one time. It over and over and over again is every other time. Right? So I feel like when you're chasing those kind of tickers, you're chasing until it doesn't. Right? You're basically just always running around trying to find a ticker in a really high catalyst or a really volatile moment that's doing something unusual that has a lot of unusual attention. Right? I actually go the other direction. I like trading the exact same tickers every single day. Like Mara started alerting more often, so I added Mara recently into my watch list because Mara has been alerting. Right? So what I'll do is I'll go back through once a week and I'll look for tickers that people have been trading a lot and see if they line up. Look at Mara, right? It's a lower range, right? So it's not a play today, right? The only play that's possible is the R3 short, and it swept down, so that play is killed. But look still to the interaction to S3, right? It's still working. It's just not a good play today. So these are my tickers, right? So now that these are my tickers, right? What do I do, right? That. go into your alerts, set it to your watch list, set it to Camarilla Pivot Plays, set it to any alert, set it to 1 minute, hit save, and don't look at your computer anymore. Right? You just sit around and do nothing. You don't need a watch list, right? Technically, you have a watch list, right? You need an alert system that tells you when to look at a particular ticker and where to look at it, right? The Camarilla system, as far as I'm concerned, and I know this is boastful, and being a good guy and being humble, you're not supposed to be boastful, but I'm gonna be, right? I do not know of any systems that provide a more accurate indication of when we are going to hit extremes of participation than my system. If it was out there, I'd be using it. You know what I mean? Like I'm really, really happy and really, really, into and convinced about the efficacy of this system. You know what I mean? So GP right here, just for the record, putting this into YouTube. I'll send you your check later, by the way. He put, I use your cam system on TV religiously and ended this month with 3 red days out of 22 trading days. Right? And I've been following GP on his X, actually. I've seen a lot of those trades, and they are gorgeous, well executed trades, right? So all I do is just set the alert, and then I have this right here, right? I have the log here that tells me, right, when my tickers are getting into the correct positions. Like right now, the only call I really had today on equity tickers recently was a call on Tesla. Right? So you can see here, but actually I don't even see where that called here. I might have to redo this. Maybe I switched my cams around because it should. I don't even see an alert from it now. Oh, it's because it called in the pre-market. Yeah, well, that shouldn't call in the pre-market anyway. So no play possible. So you can see today, for instance, not a lot of calls on equity tickers, right? Most of our calls that have been going really well have been all calls on the indices. Right, or SPX, right? So SPYs and Qs, and these have been the moves today, right? So very bearish. Oof. Every trade that I take is based on the CAM system, MB. I don't take any trades outside of the CAM system. Ever. Actually. R3 short on NQ is anytime you're in a lower, wider range. Partialing is nothing but fear of losing money. I'm absolutely thrown. So I want to talk a little bit about that. And then maybe Hassan. I don't know a lot about the OTM contracts and stuff. I know that's on the money, and I know why you would use them that way. So generically for me, my box actually draws when we have a play call, right? The box that I have would like so let's say if I wanted to go long on here, which I wouldn't have because we were selling. But let's say we got down here and this called the long here, which it did, right? My system can't read we're teaching it right now, or trying to teach it to also factor for volume. But right now it just tells you in the range. You're right, it's a where identifier. It's still up to you to decide if it's buying or selling. There's a really hard sell signal there. So and the book was bearish. So that's why I was short in Qs, because it looked like we were going to sell off. But you can so if I was going to go long here, my stop would be down here, right underneath this box. My box calculates. So, and it does that based upon potential targeting for that. So if I'm in here, I want to be somewhere in this box. I want my stop just below this box. And if I go below that box, I'm wrong. And I get out. So, and that normally allows me to be able to hit pretty decent 4-to-1s within ranges and stuff like that. This thing is selling, man. Today's going to be I feel like today has a lot of potential to really sell today. No, I don't trade every alert. So when I trade, and so if you ever get an opportunity, I do have this book, right? And when you read the book, what you'll see is that there's these, I don't know if you can see it, but there's these little black lines here going across. So it's 3 major sections, and those 3 major sections break the book down into 3 categories: where, when, and how. Right. So, so whenever we're taking a trade, and I recommend this for anyone, even if you're not using my system, it's where, right, when, and how, right? The cams give you this part, right? It's a value-based, mathematically based participation structure, right? That basically based upon where we sold from before and some creative math, it's where we expect to sell from again, right? And talking about the difference between mine and standard ones, would be it's a pretty verbose conversation. You know what I mean? I just have my own calculation method and my own way of calculating the time frames and the way I force the closes so that I get a certain type of look in mine so they line up right. So, but if you had my book, I actually have all the calculation methods in the book. But I mean, I can detail it more. It's very, very, I wouldn't say it's very complicated, but it is of complication, that's for sure. And then when, right? So when is a state of being, right? So when am I going to go short? Well, I'm going to go short when it's selling, right? So you need to know the difference between when it's buying versus when it's selling, right? So I read this book recently on the recommendation of Andrew and Dr. V. And I don't know, have any of you ever read The Alchemist? Anybody in here? Thumbs up. By the way, likes, shares, thumbs up, all that stuff. Let's do it real quick. Let's knock it out. Do the housekeeping. Have you done The Alchemist? Read The Alchemist? Right. So what was the so many times, right? Well, really, really good book, actually. And I had never read it. I actually got 2 more of Paolo's books now because I really liked his writing a lot. So in this book on the journey, the alchemist's role, right? What is the alchemist's role? For those of you who read who read the book, what is the alchemist's role in this journey? The pilgrimage? Okay, I'll check that out. What was the alchemist's role in this journey? Of this gentleman's journey as he's moving across and he meets this alchemist. It's his job to do what? What is he doing for this guy? What does he take his payment for in the end when he splits off his gold? Come on, readers. I'm always interested to see how many people like really read books. When I read books, I really chew them up. You know what I mean? I really like getting into the deep part, especially that one. That one was a really good one. Where's the pop-out chat? Let me get this over here. I think there's a little lag in the chat here. There we go. Put you up there. It's to teach him the language, right, of the world. Right? It was the alchemist's job was to teach the man how to interpret his own path, right? How to help him, make the transformation he needed to make to become his personal legend, right? That he was a teacher, he was a guider, right? He was someone who is leading this guy to the knowledge and actually teaching him how to listen, right? So a common reference to maybe the alchemist, I think, would be Morpheus, right? In the movie The Matrix, right? In the movie The Matrix, Neo is someone who is on a journey to find his, this heroic, legendary version of himself, and it's Morpheus's job, right, to lead him through that exploration process, but not to convince him, but rather to allow him to be led through an environment in which he can be convinced. Yeah, Moshe, I'll get there. Yeah, exactly, Ben. You're saying it right there. The bridge between the material and the spiritual, right? So that is my role here for you, right? I want to be your alchemist for stock trading, right? It's my still bearish for Beyond NQ. It's my goal to try and teach you to read the matrix, right? It's not my job just to teach you how to hit longs on new highs and new lows. That's generic junk that you can get from any cheap book, right? I actually want to teach you the language of the market, right? To see the algorithm, to experience it, to understand how it ebbs and flows, right? How it likes to act, how it likes to do, and how to talk with it, to interact it, to feel it. You know what I mean? So the when is a state of being, right? The when is it selling? Is it buying? If you can't answer those questions, then you should not be participating as a retailer in the market. Right now, how long is it going to sell for or buy for? Nobody knows. This is why we need a where, right? You need a location where it has sold from before or it has bought from before so that you can observe the market state of being in that moment to ascertain if it's going to sell or if it's not going to sell. That is your when, right? When do you think it is selling? When do you think it is buying? Or when do you think it could sell or could buy, right? When is ethereal, right? It's spiritual. When is a guttural moment, right? Where, when, and how. Sorry for my sloppy handwriting. I'm using a mouse, right? It's where, when, and how, right? When is static, right? When is a static concept, right? This is why programming algos to trade for you, by the way, is very, very difficult, right? Because it's very, very easy to give an algorithm a where. It's very, very easy to give an algorithm a how. It's very, very difficult to give an algorithm a when, right? Because the when is artistic. It's experiential. It's something, there's more to it than that, right? I can read the movement of the market, the state of the book, the volume, and I can tell you with it. I mean, you guys have been in here with me now. You've seen me doing this. People that have been in P Capital can testify. I did this for the last 3 sessions in a row because we've been focused on just reading the language of the market, right? And we've been sitting there and I literally will tell them, okay, the market's going to drop in about, I don't know, 10 or 15 seconds. And then it drops, right? Those aren't guesses, right? I'm doing that because I can read that the tense, the anxiety in the algorithm. I can see how it's offering and how it's not succeeding in that offer. But it takes a lot of work to develop that kind of an intimate relationship with the market. So, but when you see Andrew trade the way he trades, when you see Brian trade the way he trades, when you see Paris trade the way he trades, you have to understand, like, these are gentlemen that have developed a very intimate relationship with their trading style and the market, right? So they now I feel like they exist. One of the issues that I have with momentum trading in general is momentum trading is very, very difficult if you don't have a highly developed sense for that kind of thing, right? Like if you have a lot of trouble with the when, momentum trading is going to be very difficult for you because anytime you get long, the price is going to go right against you. Anytime you get short, the price is going to go right against you, right? No matter where you are, it's just going to always happen because you can't really tell the difference if it's buying or selling. If you can't tell the difference if it's buying or selling, you should not be interacting with the market yet until you take the time to develop that skill set. Like you need to be able to look at the market and say, well, it's been selling. Right now, it looks like it's on, like right now, if it looks like on SPY right here as we're pulling back, it's rallying. We should get long. There's no volume, right? This is not a rally. This is a squeeze, right? We're just relieving pressure. We're going to start selling again in a minute. Why? Because the volume, there's no volume while we're buying, right? This isn't a rally, right? We've just run out of sellers. So now the algorithm is running up the weak book trying to find more sellers, right? So you have to understand that the directional, we're distributing right now in the market. This is the movement pattern that we should be expecting right now, right? So if you can start to really like to chime in and really, and I would say for every new trader, this is the number two. There's the number one and number two skill you need to be focused on. This skill and this skill, very easy to develop. This one will take you years, right? So if you're, so before you're even pushing a mouse, right? IG is at Thor Young, Bear Bull Trader, at Thor Young BBT on IG. You know, this one, if you're just coming new to trading, I would recommend getting like, I'd recommend on getting like, an order book that you can read of some version, getting a platform that you can read of some version, and just start reading it like you'd read a book. Don't touch a mouse, don't interact with it. Just pull up SPY, pull up cues. Those are probably the easiest to start with, and just start watching price movement and start saying, okay, is it going to go up or is it going to go down? And when you get to a point to where you can say, I think it's going to go up, and then it goes up more often than not, when you say that, now you can start working on everything else. Like you really should just be focused on developing the ability to read the market and experience the market and you know, talk its language, right? After you have that experience, really focus in on the other two elements. Now, the cam system gives you the where. Yeah, exactly, Throne. That's screen time. The cam system will give you a where. Now, here's the next hard part, right? This guy right here, the how. The how is also subjective and personality and experience based, right? A lot of my mentees that I work with do not go for the same profit targets that I go for. They go for smaller ones. Why? I get better entries because I'm more experienced, and I'm more comfortable holding for longer targets because I'm also more experienced. Right? So even when we're going for the same trades, my mentees often don't hit as big of trades as I do. And it's just because I do it better. And they're gonna get better. But for now, it's okay if they're going for 2-to-1s. It's okay if they're going for 3-to-1s. Shoot, I don't care if they're not going for anything to ones, right? As long as they have a max loss, right? There's a maximum amount you should be willing to lose per trade. But in the beginning, I don't care if you're just hitting the next level to the downside and scalping. It's all about developing that directional movement. I believe so, Ben. Yes, I believe she did get it. Thank you so much. You know, so yeah. So, but your how is going to be very, very important to you, right? Like, again, my how and my where are very linked together. Since in the beginning, I wasn't as strong as reading price action, I developed my cam system because I wanted an easy way to isolate premium and discount. That way, when I was buying, if it's over and over and over again until it doesn't, I'm buying in an area where it is more likely to over and over again. It bought here before, so I'm going to buy where it bought before, right? And now if it sells through that buyer, then I'll sell, right? Because now it's doing something it hasn't done before. And that's what my cams are, right? Long above the fours, short below the fours, right? If you're on a higher, wider range, you're not going to go out because there's no ATR. If you're on a narrow range, you can short R4 as long as you think you can go all the way out the bottom, right? You can also long R4 because it's a narrow range. If it opens above R4, there is no short of R4. It's only a long above R4, right? So there's little things we've added in there, but we have a very specific way that I interact with the market. There's a place I interact with it in a specific way, and then there's a specific way I manage it. But that's because I'm a day trader. That's more of an intraday range trader, right? So, and that's the other thing you have to get in tune with, your personality for the how. Are you comfortable? Again, I think I used this analogy in peak maybe here earlier. I think it was here earlier. No, it was in peak. What is your definition of a good time? I think this steers a lot. I agree, Ben, by the way, on the likes. Hook me up, people. Think about your personality. Go to my IG, AIN. If you go to my IG, there's a link on there to my private mentoring area. So it's on my profile. Think about what you like to do for fun. Are you excited by the thought of getting on a motorcycle and going 90 miles an hour down the road without a helmet on? are you excited by the thought of getting putting on a suit and climbing up the coldest, highest Tumakano, sorry, are you US based or at least not Canada based? If you're not Canada based, I don't have a good answer for you. If you're anywhere else based, then I do. Which would be to open a very small Charles Schwab account and then get it for like $40 a month through them. But if you're based out of Canada, then you won't be, they won't let you. So I think you might be able to do that then. So, but I wouldn't know for sure. But so my book map is through Charles Schwab. I have a Schwab account that I use for like my long-term stuff. Right. And then so I get this, I only pay like $40 a month for this. So, but yeah, do you think like, and I'm kind of making a reference here to my boss. Does the thought of climbing the tallest mountain in the coldest, worst environments, right, and almost dying excite you? You know what I mean? Are those the kind of things that you like to do to have fun? And if that's the case, you may want to look at more of a momentum or a scalping based strategy, right? Because your personality may not do as well. Now, I'm not saying don't use cams, right? But when you come off the cam, just scalp. Don't hold all the way across the range like I do. Go in tight and take advantage of the quick move, right? Yeah, Ben, planes. Anybody in here think it sounds fun to go jump out of a plane today? Like if I was like, hey, anybody want to go skydiving? And I raised my hand, how many people would raise their hands with me? If I said, hey, let's go skydiving, how many people would do that? Momentum traders. Every one of you who say yes. All you momentum traders. I'm finding all of the trend traders right now versus all the momentum traders, right? Right. So in Canada, you can't get a Charles Schwab because it's a TD absorb. So if you live in Canada, you can't open a Charles Schwab. I don't think you can open an account with them and get the book map. So now why I'm saying that, I would not in a million years. I would not. Nope. Never. Couple reasons. One, I wouldn't. Two, my insurance wouldn't pay. I got life insurance and kids and stuff. It doesn't pay if I die jumping out of a big plane or a plane for no reason, right? It does pay if I jump out of a plane for a reason. Like if the plane's going down and I just have to jump, that's different, right? But unfortunately, it's probably just better if I stay in the plane. It probably pays easier that way, right? But in reality, it doesn't. But even if that wasn't the case, right? There's no way, right? There's no way I would ever do that. There's no way I would climb Everest. No way, not interested, right? I barely like to take long traveling places, right? Because I live in a beautiful place with basically everything I could need right around me. You know what I mean? So my idea of the best time in the planet, right? Right? It's not even about dying. It's just not what I'm into. It doesn't excite me. I'm not scared of heights. You know what I mean? I would be perfectly happy to fly my own plane. Right? I'm just not into the idea of jumping out of one. It just doesn't sound like a fun time. You know what I mean? And people do die all the time doing that. I forget what the national statistic is right now, but it's higher than you would want to admit if you've jumped out of a plane with somebody. It's high enough. That's for sure. So, I mean, but for me, it just doesn't fit my personality. My idea of a good time is, laying on a beach with sun, with a hot honey curled up underneath my arm. You know what I mean? Like sipping a drink that tastes a little bit too much like a fruit. You know what I mean? Like that's my idea of a good time. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna hang out at Disney, even though the lines are too long, because I want to hear my son yell that he's got goosebumps while we're in the middle of a ride. You know what I mean? So that's just what excites me. Those are the things that make me happy. You know what I mean? I like delayed gratification, right? I like projects around the house that take me 3 weeks and a month to complete. I like doing puzzles, right? I used to love doing Legos when I was a kid, right? Like these are the things that excite me and make me happy. I like reading books. You know what I mean? And I read The Entire Alchemist cover to cover in a couple of hours. It was a great book. I read it twice actually, because I liked it so much. I turned around after I finished it, flipped it over, and started reading it again. So, but this is what excites me and brings me. I just don't get excited by those things. I would never get on a motorcycle at all. I've been on motorcycles. I've ridden dirt bikes. I've ridden street bikes. I've done it all. I'm not into it. I'll never get on a motorcycle again for the rest of my life. I'm not into it. I don't like them. Right? Just not worth it. You know what I mean? I drive my Jeep and take all the tops off so that I can get a little wind not through my hair. Right? But it's very, very important to stay in tune with you as a trader. Trading is as much about spirituality and as much about your personality as it is about anything else. If not, it's more about that, especially on the retail side, right? I have a Jeep Gladiator 2023 special edition diesel, and it's my baby. I love it. It is my dream car. It was a pretty stoked about it. Gets great gas mileage or diesel, and it's amazing. But yeah, so just kind of keep that in mind as you're going through this journey. You know what I mean? That part of this journey is it's really trying to figure out your personality and the way that you can interact with the market in a way that feels comfortable for you. So that's what my complete day trading system was all about, right? So no. Back seats are normal size seats. How many ducks? 4. I only keep 4 ducks in the front. But there are 4. It's one for me, one for my kids, and then one additional one. But it's the Gladiator, so it's the one that looks like a truck. Oh, back seat's perfectly comfortable. I can sit in the back seat. But I mean, I can sit in the back seat, but don't keep in mind I'm fairly athletic. Right? AIN. So and I can say this as somebody who was not athletic at one point in my life, right? So you know what I mean? So like if I was heavier than I am now, even though I'm 6'1", right? And I can fit in there, but if I was like 230 pounds instead of being 178 or 176, right? That wouldn't be the case. Right? So and so it's like the same thing for like if you're flying in an airplane, right? No, just smaller backside. You know what I mean? When you gain weight in your backside. You know what I mean? Your back gets bigger, your butt gets bigger. So when you sit down, you're pushed further forward in the seat. So your knees get closer to the seat in front of you when you're heavier because of your larger backside. Right? This is why big people don't like being in planes. Right? It's not like they're tall, right? Because they're big. They're just big because they're big, right? It makes your legs longer because it gives you a bigger backside. So it jams your knees into the seat. So Jeeps do not have the world's largest back seat. So if you have a larger back seat, you've got a larger back seat, right? You might not like having a Jeep because that's not the thing, right? So and take this from someone. I know I don't look it right now, but take it from someone who is bigger at one point in time. You know, I mean, it's a big life difference, man. Being at a healthier weight is so nice. I mean, there was one point in time, you guys have seen the pictures of me, right? You know what I mean? Of me, like 4 years ago, of what I looked like when I first started trading. No, I don't, so a humorous, no. I don't, whatever indice it is, I trade specifically to that indice, right? So I don't look at Qs if I'm trading ES futures, I'm watching ES futures, trading them as ES futures, right? And and I'm not focused on any of the other tickers or how they're moving. They're all their own game, their own markets, their own thing. I'm focused intensely on the one I'm in. Specifically, I'm a range trader, right? I'm a day trader, right? Some people confuse the concepts, so they scalp and they call themselves a day trader. Scalpers and day traders are not the same thing. Although many scalpers scalp during the daytime, but you can scalp in the pre-market, the post-market, you can scalp anytime. Scalping is a methodology for profiting off the market. It's not a style, right? Style is of day trading. A day trader is more like a swing trader, right? But we do it in the daytime, right? So think more like a trend trader, but I don't trade with trends. I trade based completely on daily range, right? I'm going to try and sell in premium near R3 or R4 for a movement across the range. I'm going to buy at S4 or S3 to go across the range or cover whatever, both. If it goes outside the range, then I play away from the ranges if it's on a narrow range because I assume we're going into price discovery. Right. So, but I'm entirely I only take one entry. I only take one exit. I don't partial. I don't use break even. I don't move my stops. I don't move my targets. Right. I have a fixed risk concept. I go to 4-1 on every single trade. And this month I ran an 85% hit rate. So, thanks to my last couple of trades. So, you know, it's just very methodical, very clean trading. It is not the easiest trading system on the planet. And I hope you respect that. If it was easy, everyone would be able to do it. And I'm not expecting everyone to be able to do it. It is a difficult, it does have its moments of complexity that have to be worked through, but I assure you, once you learn it and work through the complexity, you will find no better system for predicting directional change in the market. So as far as I'm concerned, and I'm, you know, and if there was one, I would be using it. I promise that. So, what was the, of course, oh yeah. So someone asked how much, wait, hold on. I'll just show you a picture. Get ready. There it is. This was me in front of the NYSE like a year after I started trading. Right? So pretty wild, right? Oh, hold on. We zoomed in for a second. Hold on. So look at this guy. Right? So I mean you know, I completely changed. And then within a couple years later, look at that. Standing there with Peter Tuchman, having him sign my book. Same exact spot. Just a little bit later. And for the record, not to brag, but I'm gonna. That does say all my love, Peter Tuchman. Just saying. I don't know if your books are signed, all my love. And then he signed right where him and I were hanging out together on the NYSE. How adorable was that? So that's my guy. That was pretty cool. So so on the we don't have a lot of time, so I'll give you a really quick brief on that, and then I'll try and hit one or two more questions. Right. So on the weight loss thing, I had one of my mentees who was from I had my hair. I had one of my mentees that was actually from India. And he talked to me about fasting and really explained to me how his family has utilized fasting for a very long time, as well as some certain dietary choices, right? And then so I implemented that concept along with rigorous physical exercise. Right. So at least I exercise for at minimum 30 minutes a day. As of right now, I run at least 3 5Ks a week, and I bike at least 10K twice a week. Right. So and then I weight train 1 day a week because I'm not really worried about getting bulky. Right. I'm not really trying to, like, I'm not really, I'm okay with just, some generalized stuff. I don't want to be like bulky. I want to be functionally lean and athletic. You know what I mean? So I run like 5K 3 times a week, and then I bike 2 times a week, and then I do one full body exercise for 1 hour a week. And that's it. Dietary wise, no sugar, or very low sugar, right? And intermittent fasting is the way to go. Right. I don't eat till around 10:30 to 11 o'clock every morning, and I stop eating at 6 p.m. every single night. I don't eat afterwards, only water or black coffee. Otherwise. And if you do that, if I don't care if you've got type, I'm telling you right now, I've done this with some of my friends, and it is completely taken them out of type 2 diabetes. You know what I mean? I've had a family member that I've worked with that has done this. Like, it will, if you do that, I promise you will shred. I don't care if you're a man, I don't care if you're a woman. This is just about insulin. You know what I mean? I swear you will shred weight. And if you just add 30, you don't have to work out as hard as I do. Just do 30 minutes of moving cardio where you get your heart rate over like 110. You know what I mean? If you're a woman, 110 to 120. If you're a guy, like 120 to 130. Get to that pace. It should be conversational, which means while you're walking, you should be able to talk to somebody at the same time. If you feel like you're getting out of breath, slow down a little bit. But you need to be walking fast enough that your heart rate is elevated while you're walking. If you do that for 30 minutes a day, and then do general intermittent fasting otherwise, yeah, so exactly, it's autophagy, right, Mark? 100%. You know this stuff. 100%. It's also it helps with cancer and these other things, right? A lot of the reasons why people end up with cancer is because of your diet, right? Cancer needs sugars, it needs nasty stuff for it to grow on. So this is where the autophagy comes in, right? Or autophagy, depending on who you're talking to, right? If it what it does is it actually gives your body a chance every night to actually get rid of all of those nasty dead cells and things that are feeding on all that sugar that's just floating around in your body every night, right? So it allows it really prolongs your health. It prolongs your mood. Intermittent fasting was one of the best things I've ever done for my ADHD. You know what I mean? Regulating my sugar the way it has made it so much easier for me to think clearly, right? So it's going to help you in more ways than one. Not only will it make you look good, and looking good feels good. You know what I mean? It feels nice to be able to go and do a thing and say, cool, the world treats you different. Sorry, not sorry. It happens. I've been there. I've been big a couple times. I've been small a couple of times. It's a different world out there when you're on the other ends of the spectrum. You know what I mean? So T-Chat 100%. That's why I'm biking 2 days a week is to make sure my knees are great, but just to make sure. That's why I started biking 2 days. I was running 5 days a week, and then I added in biking just to start kind of preservation. So we can talk more about that. So Sergey, let's talk about this Friday a little bit. All right. On Friday, I'm going to have Nathan on. Nathan is a pharmacist who actually has a degree in biopharmacology and stuff like that. He knows about all the nutrients. He knows about all the aminos and how to do macros, and so Nathan's my bud. So we can actually, because having you be healthy physically is a part of you being healthy as a trader mentally, right? So let's do this. Let's talk about this a little bit more. You know, we want to cover all the aspects of your performance journey here, right? Including getting you to be the healthiest version, you know, of yourself, because nobody told me when I first bought my the Andrew's trading book, right? Nobody told me that I was going to have to become a better version of myself, right, in order to happen. But it actually was required. I had to get more focused on these kind of things, because it's hard to sit down and be a performer for 3 hours a day and then go out and be a louse for the rest of your day, right? It kind of bleeds through, right? The one comes in, this one goes out. The better of a trader you become, it's almost like the better at life you become, but you kind of got to become better at life to become better at trading. You know what I mean? So it's kind of this whole back and forth thing that you really got to kind of get going. So tomorrow will be Friday. We'll do that. We'll talk more about of stuff like that. Okay. ALN, I gotta run, but let's talk about that more tomorrow. I say boot camp, come on in. We'll teach you right there and there. But also, okay, if you want to get a few months in at BBT, then do boot camp. I think either of those things would be a good idea. But they've got stuff for beginners and for advanced going on. So I hope everyone has a great one. I'll see everybody tomorrow. As always, much love. I'll see you then. Keep it green, people. Bye.